I'm a happy player. Ready, I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. And I get nobody. It's Floxy, baby.
I can't play fun with my happiness, oh. And I got me low like my problem. And I got me low like my problem. Walk up, walk up, walk up, walk up. Big boys singing big noise. I let to him and go to where my head can fit. Nothing coming to be chop life. Mommy problem plenty, oh. So they lick up, I go drink it one time. I say they do them plenty. I will take one, don't get myself hard time. Enjoyment pass enjoyment. Let me enjoy my life, oh. We lose some, we win some.
I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. And I get nobody. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. And I get nobody. Mampa, me, let's go party, oh. Every day I jolly, oh. No time to be dolly, oh. Me, let's go party, oh. Every day I jolly, oh. No time to be dolly, oh. Party no more liquor. Let the DJ get it for the way, oh. And I want to on my stress tonight. I just want to enjoy myself. And I want to on the Papa experience I left now show me. I just like enjoying this one thing here that God not give me. I can't play on my peace of mind, you know. I do win it for my head, yeah. I wanna in competition with nobody but who them myself. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. And I get nobody. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. And I get nobody. It's Dash Media.
Did you watch your enemies? They want to see me. Put up, girl and tell they want to me. They want me to die, la la. Oh, did you watch your enemies? They want to see me. Put up, girl and tell. Hey, good. Become a tana, can you hold me with a la la and Kaleo. They want to hear warrior. Become a labor, only one school and carry. They won't eat me on lelo. My kena only won't offer. And now for the nobody want for me, I will see you. Walk out for me, you will get real. I just money my business. They try let need you water enemies. They won't see me in poto. Girl and Chenley will kill me soko. They just want me to die, la la. Oh, need you water enemies. They won't see me in poto. Girl and Chenley will kill me soko. They just want me to die, la la. I'm blessing rap, y'all like plenty, but cool as sardine, plenty like cartoon with Jalona. It hurts in the heart, it pulse in the medulla, oh yeah. Blessing can follow me, all of my people let me. Because my eye clean, clipper can fight for me. Like can fight for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessing can follow me, all of my people let me. Because my eye clean, clipper can fight for me. Like can fight for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oluwa, Baba, you cover my mama, pray for me. You're just waiting, see, and I see nothing. When your belly see me, ask for me, you not see me. Come on, can't you won't hold me with the woe. With the la line, call you. They won't do you and worry, oh. Become a labor, only one school and carry, oh. They won't eat me on lelo. My kinda only one off you, oh. And now for the nobody work for me, I will see you. Work okay for me, you okay, oh. I just money my business, oh. Literally need you water. Enemies they won't see me in poto. Gill and chain will kill me soko. They just want me to die, bolala, oh. Need you water. Enemies they won't see me in poto. Gill and chain will kill me soko. They just want me to die, bolala, oh. I tear them freeze, joy allow me to breathe. I'm living my life with ease. La lepe, and I ain't no competition, oh freeze. Y'all believe money. I'm living my life with ease. My kinda only one off you. And now for the nobody work for me, I will see you. Work okay for me, you okay, oh. I get money, my business, oh. Literally need you water. Enemies they won't see me in poto. Gill and chain they will kill me soko. They just want me to die, bolala, oh. Need you water. Enemies they won't see me in poto. Gill and chain they will kill me soko. They just want me to die, bolala, oh.
Need you water.
Once again, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Bottom Liberia. Tonight, we'll be discussing issues from Liberia. We'll be looking also at international scene. My name is Jamal Kamara, live from the city of Manchester. Tonight, with me is a good friend of King Charles, Paul the Lord Shirley. Paul, welcome.
Good evening, Jamal. It's good to be back here on the Borderland discussion, and good evening to our audience. If you're joining us for the very first time, kindly share the show. Be fascinating tonight. How are you, my dear brother?
Yeah, Paul, let's before we take a quick break, we'll let our audience to know we'll be looking at issues. Look, the guest speaker, this Dr. Emmett L. Dunn speech. He gave a very fascinating speech. We'll be looking at that. We'll be highlighting what did he say in his speech. Something, what we do normally, Paul, we forget to look at key things these speakers will speak on. And we just say just a normal thing. But there are things he mentioned that we want to talk about tonight. And you also going to be talking about the former solicitor of George Weah, Serena Cephas. Say something about George Weah government. And we want to look into that. What is something is he looking for notice, or is he realistic of what he said? And we'll also be looking at what the diaspora, the Liberian people need the diaspora, people in the diaspora to go back home to do. Councillor Teon Gonglo was speaking in Australia. I think he asked Liberia to go home. We'll be looking at those events. And please, don't go away. Join us. I'll go back to Paul, be taking us to the international desk. Paul will tell us what is happening on the international scene tonight. We'll take a quick break and come back. We'll go to Paul, and then we'll take you through. Paul, I want to first welcome the audience. Then we take a break. Then we'll start with what is on our menu tonight.
Right, great, Jamal. Thank you. Welcome, Nelson Michael. Welcome, Samuel Woolsey from my end that I can see. And if you want us to recognize you, kind of say something. Eric Valentin, hey, welcome to the Bottomland discussion. Jala Lasha, oh, our own Jala, welcome, Jala. We learn you were ill. Thank God that you're back now. Speedy recovery. Just click on something. Let's say thumbs up so we can recognize you. Yes. So, Joma, those are the names I'm seeing for the so far. But I've seen a lot of people on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just click, say something so we can recognize you.
All right. We'll be within a split second, and we'll take you through with Paul on the international. What do you have on highlight on international scene. Just take a quick break and come back. Stay with us. Please share the show.
This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. Liberia is the only home we have, the only place we can boast of, the only country we can be proud of. And this is the only country we can always talk about. This is a country of our passion. Tonight, Paul, the Lord Cholo Play, will be telling us what is going on around the world. Paul.
Yeah, Jamal, thank you. And thanks to our audience for being with us. Jamal, something very interesting now. I'm going to focus more on the situation in the Middle East, Palestine and Israel. For some reason now, the tone is changing. France started something about recognizing Palestine as a state in September, and they have now pushed the UK to follow. So we'll be looking at why now. It's because they will find out that in the UK, there are 200 MPs that wrote the Prime Minister to act. You know, Britain is one of those countries that have been supporting Israel. Army then, they kept silent on what is happening, but it has reached to the point now that no longer their MP are now putting pressure, the citizens putting pressure on the government to do something. So this a dramatic turnaround, and Donald Trump was in Scotland recent time, and the Prime Minister of UK met him. After that, so the Foreign Secretary came up with a statement. I just want to play while the UK changing their tone now. So let's listen to David Lammy here, and then we can have a discussion before we move on. In other news, I said in Ukraine and Russia, there will be a regime change. When I played it last time, people say, oh, I've been seeing this thing, but this thing now is keep echoing. So we got a little clip on it. Then also we'll be looking at Africa. Why is it the older generation does not want to give the young people chance in terms of leadership? We'll be looking at Paul Biya. He's 92 years old. He's now going to contest again for another election. Why these guys can't give chance to the young people? We'll be looking at that. But let's listen to David Lammy and see what he says.
His Majesty's government therefore intends to recognize the state of Palestine when the UN General Assembly gathers in September here in New York.
So that is a historic policy decision by the UK government to recognise a Palestinian state by September, subject to a series of conditions. Now, the UK Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, came out here after that speech, and I pressed him on the timing. Why has it taken starvation to make you act now?
We have seen the most horrific scenes. The global community is deeply offended by children being shot and killed as they reach out for aid.
But the superpower seat here is empty. That's the US. They're boycotting this, calling it a publicity stunt, saying it undermines their efforts to get a Gaza ceasefire. But these countries are pressing on. They say it's the only way to rekindle a two-state solution and peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
So,
Yeah.
Jamal, to our
Yes.
audience, we want you to chime in. The tone is changing. Children are being
Yes.
killed every day. So pressure is now on the British government. America and Israel will be isolated because in September, France and Saudi Arabia are leading the charge, encouraging other countries to join. So America and Israel will be silent that this country wants two-state solution. They want a killing to end. What say if you are listening to the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thanks. We also want our those who following us right now, following this live podcast or live show. We want you to also share with us your thought. What do you think? Paul just made a statement, and the United Kingdom and also France, they are weighing in to recognize Palestine as a uh, state, which is a hate on the side of US and as well as Israel. So you can also put in your thought. We'll share with us. Share with us. We'll also share with the comment, with the community, with the public, with the audience. Well, I've been saying this on this platform most of the time. I just see like the hypocrisy of Saudi Arabia, one of the powerful houses in the Middle East, that should be pushing America to recognize the Palestine. They've been fighting for years. I know people will tell you, politicians in Liberia will tell you, political pundits will tell you, the downfall of Talbot was when he went to United Nations. He made a statement of the Palestinian state. From that day, he's he started getting trouble from his government. Like the people should recognize the state of Palestine. I think he made one of the major speeches he made, William R. Talbot. And those are things that those days you couldn't speak against Israel. You can't speak against Israel. What is happening now is come to a time that people understand that enough is enough. The word is saying that this is not about religion anymore, Paul. It's about humanity. It's about the people that are dying. How many people, Palestine have sacrificed for their freedom, for their independence, and nobody's cared to listen to. And it's a worst time in life that children are struggling, even if they're running for food aids, they've been killed, and people sit silent. And we're speaking about equality, we're speaking about justice, we're speaking about democracy. It's so funny, that the West will sit and play a blind eye or deaf ears to the people of Palestine. When the Iranians strike recently, when they were striking recently, if people begin to see, you see the massive support for the people of Iran. I mean, or kind of revenge for people of Palestine or Gaza. So you could see that this is not about religion. It's not about being a political, a support of Israel. It's about justice. It's about equality. It's about the children and the women that are dying in that particular land. So I think it's about time, Paul, that not only France and England and we want the European Union to stand strong for the support of Palestine, to have the state as well. People wonder why the people in Palestine would like to die, Paul. You know why they like to? Because most of them were born in the refugee camps. They have not seen life, a real life. So death is something like it's part of their lifestyle. They say, "Oh, what do I have to survive for or live for?" I grew up so most of them grew up in those refugee camps saying nothing but live on AIDS. So if they die, it's something like this. I mean, death is inevitable, but they think like just part of their lifestyle. So if they need to be part of nation of how do you call it? Committee of Nations, if they given a recognition, they need to give them the recognition. It's about time the world should stand up. The people, those who stand up to be standing for justice, to stand for the people of Palestine, to give them their freedom, their independence as people as well. I think we also would like to have thoughts for anybody watching us right now. You can please drop your comment. What do you think about what is the people of UK, the country, UK, France, and Saudi Arabia leading the fight for the people of Palestine to have the state? Now, is it overdue? Is it not ready yet, or is it like they're playing mockery to democracy or to justice? But it's a very important. I don't know what you think, but it's very important now that before the end of this year, the people of Palestine should be able to have their own land.
Yeah, Jamal, you're right. It's quite important, and it's the popular now that is putting pressure on the government. The government been silent for what? You remember when the situation started in the Ukraine, all of them were talking. But now, when it comes to Israel, they all kept quiet. And Russia was taking out all the sporting activity that involved them, but Israel kept going. So people are saying, "Well, what the injustice in the one? What Russia is doing is no different from what Israel is doing. Israel is doing worse than what Russia is doing." But then you silence one, you support the other one. So the people now are putting more pressure on the government. So this is why the government coming out now, and let's give kudos to France by leading the charge, because France is part of the five permanent member of the Security Council. If UK join, I know China and Russia will join. So that would be only America would be the one that. So if the war come together, They need number of Israel were born based on United Nations. When British and America push it, people recognize them to become a country. So the same UN that was disrespected by America, now we find its voice by these other four permanent members are now coming together. There must be a two-state solution. So if the war isolates those two countries, there will be no chance, but they will have to give it to give them that status that they require. So that's how I see it, brother.
I think you are very right about this, Paul. It's we all be talking about it. It's about justice. If the people really yearning for justice, the people in the West mean what they say, and if they can go against small countries that they don't have a democratic leadership, and they push you, you let their own leader give them a chance. Before you talk about regime change in other country, I mean, you should look right before your very nose and see what is happening, what you're supporting. There are more than hundreds of thousands of people have died in Gaza, Paul. Thousands of people have died, and it will have happened in different countries. But Paul, I always say I blame Saudi Arabia, Arab countries. They are kind of related. People of Palestine are kind of related to the Arab nation. They should be standing firm for their people. This is what should have happened. Saudi Arabia should have not sat there quietly and let the people of Israel, Palestine, or Gaza die. They should have. They deal with America. They provide America all the money to buy the weapons from all the weaponry from America. If they tell America we will not buy it from you, these weapons, and if you don't give the people support us to give the people their land, we won't do business with you. But you know, the fact is, I've said this before. The Saudi is sitting among radicals. The radicals that if they begin to support the people of Palestine, and America will not give them support. And those radicals that are around there, they want to overthrow the government in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So to protect them, the Americans have to provide them security. All the royal family, all the government officials, they've been protected by the American security. So the America could withdraw all their security arrangements if they begin to stand firm and say, you know what, and be radical and say, if you don't give the people of Palestine their freedom, we're not going to do business with you. Then America will withdraw all their security and they'll be exposed to those radicals that want to overthrow the people of Saudi Arabia government, the monarchy. They want to get rid of the monarchy. There are people every day giving a chance, they want to get rid of the monarchy, the Saudi monarchy. That's it. And if because of that, they will say, oh, you know, we are religious people. We don't want to talk about what is happening in Israel. I mean, Israel, between Israel and Palestine. We want to discuss peace. You keep killing people, then you say you'll be sending aids. Is that you kill them tomorrow, you give them aid to live on? Yeah. So now it's got to a point that I think they need to change their tune. I don't know how honest they are about pushing for the people of Palestine to have their land or to have the independence. Let's see what will happen. Because if France take on the fight supported by United Kingdom, you know, we have the couple of countries in Europe that are very powerful. One is France, Germany, UK. Those three countries are very powerful. Then you got countries coming in like Italy, Belgium, Holland. Then you got Portugal, Spain coming into at the end. If Germany number one, UK number two, France number three. Those are three big countries within Europe. The biggest economy in Europe will be Germany. Second will be UK. There will be France. Fourth will be they got small countries like Belgium, Holland, and Spain and Portugal. Those are the countries that come in to support. But if the big guys are taking the fight on, like France always fighting. But one thing I also understand, if France stand up before history could prove me wrong here, I stand to be corrected, that France take all the fight, Britain will not support. The Britain take the fight, France, but this time they are coming together to support on the one ground. So this is a good fight for the people of Palestine. I think there's something coming for them, good news coming for them. This is very new, and I hope it will go a long way. We got other European countries pulling in, bringing support for the people of Palestine.
Thank you. So let's transition a little bit before we move to, you know, I predicted on this program, see, there will be a regime change in Ukraine.
Yes.
I've been singing a song, and when I bring it up, people say, oh, wow. I said, look, the Russia does not want to do business with Zelensky. And they will not say it publicly that they want a regime change. But now, this is coming from the UK and the US. Now, the reason why I brought this up, I watched Josh Galloway. He had a program, and this thing came up. But RT News were able to interview Scott Rutter, who was a former American intelligence. So I got this thing, a 7 minute, but we'll play clip of it and then we cut the video and discuss it. I've been
Okay.
seeing this over and over, and I think this is getting louder and louder. Let's listen to this before we move to Africa.
Well, let's get more analysis now on that from Scott Ritter, former U.S. Marine Corps intelligence officer. Scott, I want to ask you, what do you make of these revelations that we've heard from Russia's foreign intelligence services that there are these talks going on to replace Zelensky with Zelensky?
Well, being a former intelligence officer myself, I'm always curious when I see reports coming from a foreign intelligence service. We need to remind ourselves that they're not there to inform the public. They're there to inform their respective leaders. So to make a decision for news to be published by a foreign intelligence service, you have to understand that there's an underlying cause, an underlying reason. And I think we need to keep that in mind as we delve into this report. I'm not saying the report's inaccurate. I'm saying that this report was clearly released at this time for a reason, and that reason seems to be linked to undermining the legitimacy of not just Russian or Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, but also his potential replacements. It's ironic that, according to this report, Yermak orchestrated the signing into law which banned the anti-corruption organs that led a loss of confidence in democracy on the part of the Ukrainian people. Meanwhile, meeting allegedly with members of the United States and British intelligence services in Switzerland to plan the next president of Ukraine, which is perhaps the most undemocratic thing one could imagine. So this report, if accurate, is damning. And even if it's not accurate, its release certainly has led to create or expanding divisions that already exist within the Ukrainian government and an increased lack of confidence in the viability of Volodymyr Zelensky as the president of Ukraine.
Well, why do you think the Americans...
Right. Kema?
Yes. Yeah, go on. Go on.
I kept saying there's smoke without fire. Scott Rutter, the guy you saw, he's very credible. He was one time the UN weapon inspector in Iraq. He followed. And I've been saying over and over that there will be a regime change. So there's smoke. We said there will be no smoke without fire, right? And although you say the RT news is propaganda news, all right, that's granted. But this situation have been around about this regime change. So what say you?
Yeah, the thing is, like, Paul, we all know very well that the only government that can call for regime change in Ukraine right now, the Kiev government, is the people of the United States, because America pays about 60% of the bills of what's going on in the world. So they have the power to twist the arms of Zelensky and his supporters. So if Europe does not stand a good ground to say, no, we don't want you to do that. Even if they don't, the fact of the matter, because they don't have the muscle to flex, to tell the world that, look, when we saw from the start, during the Joe Biden period or leadership, it was Europe that was coming in front. There was a mouthpiece saying, we want this to happen. We were making an announcement. Now they are not doing that under Trump. They are not making any public statement. The government, the leaders are not coming out to tell us, or they want this to happen. They will give the amount of arms to Zelensky. Because of Trump, we have seen a lot of things. A lot of things have been exposed. So a regime change in Ukraine is possible if Donald Trump wants that to happen. And this is what he wants. He's saying that that he has overstayed. Zelensky has overstayed in power. But that's not the will of the people, Paul. Let me tell you something. This is a wartime. It's a wartime. It's not time for election. Until things settle down, who is going to vote? But now, it's the people. Most people are only settled around outside the border, somewhere around border with Poland, other countries. So most people are in the occupied area, by the Russian occupied area. Who is going to vote this new president? But if the guys who pump in the money, they don't want you in power, you got to go. So it's the will of the superpower. It's the will of your supporter, your godfather, which is America, is arm twisting Zelensky leadership. They want him out. They are saying that he's overstay and you should pack. And this is what they are saying. The song they are singing right now. I'm telling you, go out there and do the referendum or do the opinion poll. Ask the people of Ukraine, do you want election now when it happens? So no, we are in this is state of war. We don't want election. But who providing the bread and butter for them is the USA. 60% of the war, the budget is coming from America right now. They're providing most of them. So they are saying, you know what? Let's change the leadership. So we'll change, something will happen. So the only way to happen is Zelensky must go. And I'll show you an example of what happened in Africa. When this guy, Mushu Biora, the former Nigerian guy who died, who won election, and he said election was on the Babangida. It was it was this guy. What is the name again? Abacha was in power. So when there was an argument, when Babangida annulled the election that Abiola did not win, what happened? The guy into jail. The guy, when they arrested Abiola, put into jail. And this guy took over. What is his name? Abacha, Sani Abacha took over. So the people thought of something I want to tell you right now. People are watching me, listen if I'm wrong. Abiola, you know when the time Abiola died, it was the same week Abacha died. You see what they did? They want to get rid of the two people out of the political landscape so they can bring new breed into the political game in Nigeria. So those two people died the same week. Michel Abiola died after when they visit American diplomat visited him. I think according to the story, he drank tea after, so he started sweating. He died of heart attack. Then a couple of hours later, a week or 2 days later, Sani Abacha died. So what we understood at the end was to get rid of the two guys out of the picture. So they got fresh. They got the fresh things in the political landscape in Nigeria. So things can change. So this is what the people are looking at. If this guy has been fighting, comparatively, if you compare Ukraine, you can't get rid of Putin. Putin is more powerful. So to change the tune, let's get rid of Zelensky and clear the tune. So we'll give some out. So the people because this guy is not buying in. Putin will not give him. I don't care what you do. He will not give him. So he's kind of winning, and now of course he's losing. The Europeans are getting tired putting too much money into it, and they have to face their own war as well, where the situation is happening around and their next door, which should be Israel. So they got other issues coming up right now. So, and they're also dealing with the refugees that came across into Europe. So what they want to do, those are issues the Europeans are looking at. How we want the Ukraine to go back home. Because if you see, Europe opened their doors to all Ukrainians. Even if you live in Ukraine, with Ukraine passport, they allow you to come and live in a European country free. And now, how do you want to send those people back? So they want to stop these things. These are things they're calculating on. They want to stop the war in a way. So if America says that we want regime change, of course, UK, France, other powerful European countries will say, hola, we want it to happen. So this is what happened. So regime change is not a word of the people of Ukraine. It's the word of those who put the money into the war.
Absolutely, Jamal, and it's spot on, because I predicted it here on this platform that the level which it was going, it will come. And Trump been singing it, so they got corrupt. He been singing it before he even came to power. So it wouldn't surprise anybody that they already found his successor. That's to tell you the movie, and Scott said it, they met in Switzerland. They already planned someone to remove that guy. I don't tell him to resign, or what happened to those guys in Nigeria could be something else that they could do. The war is an evil war we live in. And we're moving on to Africa quickly, Jamal. This situation with Cameroon. Paul Biya had been president before someone else was born. Paul Biya is still president. And Paul Biya going to contest for another election again. This guy, he want to die. He want to be like King Charles, my friend, to be in office forever until he dies. So I have a little clip on this from the Indian news that broke this story about Paul Biya. And let's listen to this thing, and then we'll discuss it before we move to Mama Liberia. Okay, let me get this ready.
It's hard to criticize a politician's age. You can question their policies, you can slam their track record. But pointing out that they're old, it's often seen as a low blow. Well, we are doing exactly that tonight. Because in Cameroon, the world's oldest president is running again. His name is Paul Biya. And guess how old he is? 92 years. He is older than the atomic bomb, older than space travel, older than the United Nations, and of course, the computer and the internet. Plus, he's been president since 1982. Millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, it doesn't matter. Everyone was born under President Biya. But he's not done yet. Last week, he announced his intention to run again. The elections are scheduled in October. Cameroon elects presidents for 7 years, and Paul Biya is the favorite. So he could be president until 99 years of age. This is not ambition, this is not service, this is hunger for power. Let's take a quick look at his career. Biya was born when Cameroon was still a French colony. He finished his higher studies in France. After that, he entered government service. In 1975, Biya was appointed Cameroon's prime minister. In 1982, the president suddenly resigned, so constitutionally the job fell to him. And since then, a lot has changed. Biya faced a coup attempt. The presidential term was extended, multiple parties were allowed, term limits were abolished. Yet one thing never changed, and that is the president. Clearly, the people have become fed up. In the 1992 election, around 19% of the voters did not vote. By 2018, this number had risen to 46%. So simply put, the people are disenchanted. 1/3 of the country lives on less than $2 a day. Corruption is rampant and security is fleeting. So how does Biya win every time? Because he controls the game. The Election Commission is headed by his ally, so the game is rigged in his favor. Apparently, his biggest challenge this time is the young voter. I wonder why. Cameroon's median age is 18. Around 60% of the population is under 25 years of age, so naturally there is a gulf. His team is using social media to reach out to young voters, but most are not convinced. They don't even care about the process anymore. And this problem is not limited to Cameroon. Africa itself has so many examples. Zimbabwe had Robert Mugabe. He ruled from 1980 to 2017. That's 37 years of uninterrupted rule until he was forced out. Equatorial Guinea has had the same president since 1982. Uganda has had the same president since 1986. And beyond Africa, Tajikistan, same president since 1992, and Belarus since 1994. All these presidents have ruled for more than 30 years. Then you have non-presidents. Brunei Sultan has been ruling since 1967 and Iran's Ayatollah since 1981. If you've been ruling this long, chances are you are old. Like I said, Paul Biya is the oldest at 92. The second is the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas. He's 89 years old. In fact, this seems to be the global trend. In the 1970s, the average world leader was in their mid-50s. After the 70s, it started rising. By the 2000s, leaders started pushing 60, and in this decade, they've crossed it. The current average is around 62 years. Now, we could debate why this is happening. Maybe younger people are not interested in politics, maybe the pandemic called for experienced hands, or maybe the rising geopolitical tensions did. Whatever the reason, we need a solution. Like all jobs and sectors, there must be a generational shift in politics. If not, policies will be stuck in the past, and that's not ageist. That is the truth. Every country should find its own solution for this problem, maybe term limits, maybe age limits, maybe internal party rules, something that will nudge the needle in the right direction.
Jamal?
Yes, Paul.
One more. This guy from Kenya, this professor, says something. There is time for everything. You know, when you're a good dancer, it's time that you pack your dancing shoe and leave the stage.
Mm-hmm.
These old leaders in Africa, why they don't want to get a young people chance? I mean, listen to this. Paul Biya, 92-year-old. He was born before people went to space. He was born before computers were created. He was born before. So you tell me, and that guy refused to leave the stage. Talk to me, Jamal. You listen.
Yeah, Paul, there are a lot of reasons. I think the lady also made comment if the young people are not interested in politics, that could be another reason. We can always argue from different end. You know, but Paul, the thing is, for me, it's not about how long you serve in the country. How, if you are, capable, you have the capacity to lead. That is very important. Paul Biya, for health reason, you should be leaving the stage to give a chance to other people to lead, like compare other countries. If you should mention other leaders, if they're capable enough and people believe in them, I mean, that's the reason. We also, as Liberia, has similar case. The president, Uncle Joe, is about 80 some odd years old, and the person believe that he can deliver. Well, we still question that he's at a certain age, you should take the stage out and you should take the exit because of some health related reason. Now, I'll take an example. Paul, in some years, I think in 2002 or 2018, Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia, it was 90, I think 92, 97 years, he was re-elected. He was the oldest man to be re-elected in Malaysia. So for me, why did we let a man his 90s into presidency? That happened in Malaysia. So the question that comes to the person, we question the argument of age here. So for me, I was wondering when he was elected, Mahathir Mohamad was elected in Malaysia. He is 90s. He was 92 in 2011. I think 2018 he was elected. In fact, he went for election against a youthful group coalition. And because they believe in him, they believe he can deliver. He was still thinking twice. He was still had the potential to deliver. But the question is, these people being it's for me, it's not age now. It's the issue of can they deliver? Do they have the thinking capacity to lead this country? Can they think for themselves? Do they have any health related issues? Then we can argue it. So you would disperse the rumor of age is not for me a problem. It's a problem. Is he capable to lead? Then if you name people like Paul Biya, who sat in one of the meetings in Europe, he was fighting, breaking wind, and asking where he was, asking his age, or where am I? What can I do? Sometimes I also heard the story of South Sudan president. What's his name again? Rick Machar. No, not Rick Machar. I think his name. I forgot his name, but it's not Rick Machar. He's I think it should be Rick Machar. He's the guy who, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes this guy pee on himself. They don't even know what they're doing. I mean, if you're sick, leave. But if you think you're capable, if the people are re-electing you, fine. They know you got a capacity to lead. But if you don't know, if you don't want to stay in dying power and get state funeral, fine. That's another thing. But part of the issue of Africa, they name other countries not African as well. They were also in power. Let's look at Putin as well. Forget about Africa. How long Putin has served the leadership? You tell me Putin run our country, Russia?
Yeah.
You look at that.
After Boris Yeltsin, so
Putin he's been there very, very long time. He keeps changing hands. With this, there's a guy that was the prime minister. He promised the other guy. They keep changing leadership like it's their farm. So nobody's speaking about Russia. Nobody's speaking about, but they're talking about Africa. There are other issues. I do agree Africa have issues. They should be able to exit and give this exit strategy where capable people, I'm not even looking at young people, but capable people are running the country. That's what I'm looking for. If you got the youngest person ever to serve Liberia on an election was President George Weah. And we still say that he did not deliver. He was the most popular.
But something that the journalist said, that these guys in leadership, they control the ballot box. You see? So the same thing in Russia. They can go for election, but it will always be Putin or Nivet because they control the ballot box. So when you control this, it put young people off that we can try, but it will defeat us.
That's a level of corruption in those countries. Because
exactly.
Where they want to do it. And in that part of the West, it's not possible because you cannot control it. But there are elections, there are political parties, opposition that can always challenge you and they take you to court. And the court is not being compromised compared to Russia, Africa, other Eastern European country or Middle Eastern country. So the system is still corrupt everywhere. We have issue in Africa, but Africa dominates other continents in terms of aging, sick leaders. They don't want to leave the stage. They're where we have the issue. They should leave the stage, prepare the ground for people to step in and fix the thing. And they don't want to leave. They want to die in office. Mugabe was there up to 90 some years, and he died. Now the guy who took over, Emeritus General, they called the crocodile, who took over. I mean, it's no different from Mugabe. But it's still going on as you go on. So the question is the youth not interested in politics, or we don't have any competent people in the youth to take on? Or is it
I think the youth interested, but the thing is, if you control the decision, I mean, the decision that you look at Nigeria, for example, this picture that the youth took, but then what? The corrupt guy said, no, this is our time. Y'all do all your thing. At the end of the day, we will run the show, and they ran it. They took over. So this is a situation with them. They control it. And how do you get it off them? No, so before we conclude on this, let me play this Professor something. Let me see if I can find this. It's time to leave the stage.
Yeah, before Putin came to power in 2012.
Must know when to leave the
Yeah,
stage.
that's what I'm saying. Been around.
No matter how good you are.
Listen to
Go on, go on.
Answer must know when to leave the stage. No matter how good you are, if you stay for too long, you spoil it. A good dancer must know when to leave the stage.
Yes, correct. I do agree.
A good dancer.
I do agree. That summarizes everything, Paul. Yeah. A good dancer must know when to leave the stage. You leave the beat going on and you just take your exit. But then the people that around them, Paul, make it so interesting for them to stay. If I'm reaping from you, if I'm enjoying from you, I know you're going to stay around and I'm going to enjoy. I'll keep singing you until you stay there. And I don't care who else about the fate of the country. What I care is about my pocket, my people, my family. I don't care about other people. And that's the mentality of a people, of corrupt countries like other Eastern European countries, Russia, as well as some part of African countries. So, but I think the also question is, are the youth ready to take on the challenge? That's the thing. Are we ready? If we given the stage, will they deliver?
That's the question.
That is the question we are. Are we interested in politics?
So the generation
they try us. This gone. We are a typical example.
For Liberia, that trial is just a Fiamomo trial. Because if you want to try, how can you take an entertainer who is a Buka Listen, let me finish. Let me finish my trial. And you talking about trial? You take somebody who never worked in McDonald's before to have this supervision job in McDonald's. You take somebody who are entertainer, say come and run the show. It's not a kind of trial I'm talking about. You take a celebrity who ran behind football for over 20 years that even they manage his whole properly, say, oh, because we love you, let's give it. It's not a kind of trial that I will accept, Jamal. It's somebody who been in some little who held McDonald's. He ran McDonald's. He gave him an opportunity to run it, and he feel that he say, yes, they got her administrative knowledge, but he feel, but now he gave it to somebody who does not even have a clue. I'm not talking about that trial, my brother, to be honest. So we shouldn't compare that. Now, the same generations there, they get a young one in Burkina Faso who they have given the opportunity. Look, that's deliberate. And then you say, oh, make the comparison to somebody who never worked before and somebody who have worked. You see the difference? That's my point here. So don't bring that comparison of the trial of young man who he went in because he had no clue he was dancing buka. I'm not going to buy into that.
Yeah, but okay, Paul, listen. Okay, I'm with you on that. Look at the issue of the with the same trial we give to the president right now. 40 years experience in government. We gave him the opportunity to take the government to another level. This is the same chance. People believe that the trial we gave to George Weah, President George Weah, he was a guy who came from the swamp. He know the pain with people from the lower class level felt. So he felt the pain. So if you put him there, he will change the story for the people. The story will be changed. People who come from that background, who go to bed hungry, who's 4 or 5 will sleep on the mattress, together on the mat, not even a mattress. How you call it? What they call the mattress in here? I used to be on the refugee camp. They call it a Mustafa mattress. Thank God for Mustafa. Those kind of mattress, those straw mattress, people used to sleep on that. He knew that. He knew you play. He play with bare feet in the community. I call it tabela. He played that. He knew how he said to go to school without food. So people like Brent felt this is a guy who changed things for us. And this is another trial. Then another one giving him was the old man who spent 40 years. We gave him an opportunity. to make sure that this guy are experienced. Send the young man fail, let's get the old man a chance. Now, this is the second year we're in now, and we're seeing what's happening. But we'll go to the issue of the leadership. We'll look at the speaker. If you just join you, this is Voice Liberia. We'll be talking about the guest speaker, Dr. Ahmed El Lafayette Don was a guest speaker for the 178th anniversary. He outlines some key things, very, very important things that we need to look into. But we'll take a quick musical break. I know Paul, is that the end of your international story?
That is the end of the international story. So we can now move to Liberia, because before you get into that comparison of the 50-year experience and all that, that is that comparison. This is where I think we should start from before we jump into the orator of the day. So because that's something, because you said the people try the guy who slept on the mat, who Jigga was in his toe, who ate kara, who ate all of these things, and he came, he had no clue. Then the one who have 50-year experience had come in. Guess what happened yesterday? The country should have made money, but then what happened? They were all jealous, say people must go fast and pray. God, I fasted yesterday and I prayed to devil, because for some reason in Liberia, if they call God, then God get really angry, and he does not listen to their prayer, because they're taking mockery of God. This guy, the man celebrated his wedding anniversary. He brought a white chef to prepare him the best ever Italian meal. And then the next day he said, oh, let's go fast and pray. For Christ's sake, I asked devil to just reach there and slap them in the face for misleading our people. Lead us, Gemma.
All right. We will take a quick break. You know what we do on the show? We introduce Liberian music. We want to celebrate Liberian musician. Hat off to you guys. You're doing very well. The guys who are making the music, the organizer, the managers, the promoters, we look hat off to you guys. We will play your music to make sure that we also got something good out of that country. And at some time on our show, we'll start the show with Liberian music. We'll take a break, play Liberian music to know that something good also coming out of Liberia in terms of music. Our boys, our ladies, they can sing. So we'll take a quick musical break. Probably heard the song before, but for the good of our people, we want to promote some of our people. We'll take a quick break, a few minutes of Liberian music, come back and take you through.
Please share the show while we're going to please share the show, because we're going to the nitty-gritty of our main discussion. Please share the show while we take this quick break. Yes,
right about that, Paul. We'll be talking about what the newspapers said in Liberia. We'll take the major headlines. Probably read it, but what we're going to do, we'll take the headlines and want you to comment. We want to introduce you to some Liberian songs. You have heard it before, but get used to your own Liberian thing. If you're not from Liberia, we also want to show you that we got some nice songs from our country. We'll take this break and we'll be back with you.
Those I want me die, say up and I fade. They all are yeah, crossing your way. The loyalty for me, they probably call it. I call grace on your night. Those I want me die, say up and I fade. They all are yeah, crossing your way. The loyalty for me, they probably call it. I call grace on your night. Oh, Father, let up begin, oh. I want you to my soul. Let up begin, oh. Father, let up begin, oh. I want you to my soul. Let up begin, oh. Father, let up begin, oh. I want you to my soul. Let up begin, oh. Father, let up begin, oh. I want you to my soul. Let up begin, oh. You will load down you. Most of them will say you can't make it. When you succeed, they say you fake it. Even people, everything they like it. Your success story, they can't carry. As soon as they get around, I be the post. People story, who they ill it low. And your player don't all let my coach. Everybody gets CC in town. When my time comes, you can't step on my chance. If I don't watch my story, let the people believe in your glory. Oh, Father, let up begin, oh. I want you to my soul. Let up begin, oh. Father, let up begin, oh.
Yeah, what I carry one for the struggle I
I've been there. No matter how tough, I can feel offended. My flow is unbended. Straight forward to success, but how we will get there? I see myself up there, don't need your confirmation. My confidence coded. I watch you enjoy it patience. My tongue can't don't feel offended. Make way, let me in from my catalog. Strengthen me with calm and patience. They run with bad news, but every time they sleep with good news. Those I want me die, say up and I feel. They all are yeah, crossing your way. They boy are deep on me, they papi boy. I go crazy, you know you. Oh, Father, let up begin, oh. Yeah, why you give us way? They let up begin, oh. They not jarring today. Father, let up begin, oh. Yeah, why you give us way? They let up begin, oh. They not jarring today. Oh, Father, let up begin, oh. Yeah, why you give us way? They let up begin, oh. They not jarring today. Father, let up begin, oh. Yeah, why you give us way? They let up begin, oh. They not jarring today.
Get to some music. Here with our
Wow. Paul, what a Liberian song. We want to say our celebrate Liberian musician. Thank you very much for doing a good job. You know, Paul, years back, when we were in the 70s, Liberia used to be playing some songs like Maurice Dollar, the other Kenneth, all these names, the Lone Star song, we're not singing song. But now, man, good things, man. Those guys are doing their best in our country. We need to get them credit. What do you think, Paul?
Absolutely. Look, the young generation, their music is thriving. Look, when I went to Nigeria a few years ago, and Nigerians were saying that Liberian, the music that they're making is getting closer to them. It's just that they don't have phoning. But if there's phoning there, those young people come in with some fantastic music, man. It's not in the old days that we get Maurice Dollar here who used to play. Everybody knows somebody is a man, but they have me thinking about it those days.
So,
for God in heaven says you is it the label trying to put me in trouble?
Paul, and there's a song called Isumujun as well. Look for country. It was a song. Anyway, want to say welcome again. Thank you. We joining us tonight also as co-host on the show. The Bottom Liberia is Mr. Maurice Yankuba Dollar. You're also live from United Kingdom. Mr. Dollar, welcome to the Bottom Line.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm so glad to be here tonight. Really.
All right.
I really appreciate Bottom Line, and I will always be around. So, moment I see you guys on the line, then I will definitely jump.
All right. Talking a little bit of Mr. Dollar, he's one of the brain behind the Bottom Line. We've been here for 4 years, and he pushed us. Guys, you need to do something. We're in the UK, in Europe. We need to say something to Liberia. We need to tell Liberians what they feel from our own perspective. So he's been one of our brains, supporting us from all angles. So we're also happy to have him with us. Before we go to what we have for Liberia, tomorrow, Friday, 1st of August, we'll be having a Liberian sister, with some Caribbean lineage, and she'll be joining us tomorrow. You're at the same time, 8 UK time, 9 o'clock Central European time, 7 o'clock Liberian time. This lady is working with the people in Grenada to make sure we got businesses, Liberian businesses, African guys on business trade with Grenada. Lena Marshall will be joining us tomorrow. So this is the lady tomorrow. She's just attended they call it the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum 2025. I think this is the 4th edition. They just concluded just last week, and it was the 28th, 29th. She's in St. George's right now. That's the capital of Grenada. She's in there. We'll be joining her live from there tomorrow. So Madam Marshall will be talking to her tomorrow. We'll be asking, this is trade between Africa and the Caribbean, and what are the opportunities for Liberian businesses also to invest into Caribbean or bring Caribbean business people to Liberia. So she will be there telling us what happened at the just concluded forum. We also, we want you to join us tomorrow to ask our guests any questions that if you're interested in business work in the Caribbean. And by the way, she also have some information for us There are other program coming up in the Caribbean. For I think it's there's another country in the Caribbean to be telling you about. Liberia is free visa to that country, and they have another business trade forum before the end of this year. So Madam Lena Marshall will be with us tomorrow on the borderline, same time, 8 o'clock. That's UK time, 9 o'clock Central European time, and 7 p.m. Liberian time. Lena Marshall tomorrow, our guest on the borderline, talking about trade between Africa and the Caribbean. So don't forget to join us. Please book the date and time. Gentlemen, Mr. Morris, we want to say welcome again to the borderline, and we want to discuss. Let me see if we can get this out of here. Oh, God, here. Let's see. Yeah. Gentlemen, once again, we want to take you through tonight's program. We want to be looking at what happened in Liberia in terms of news headlines. Mr. Dolly, I know we were looking at. You want to talk something about? I know you follow in the background.
Yeah.
Something concerning. Go on.
Yeah, basically, before we go further to Liberia, I would like to re-echo your introduction statement on the system. This lady is a very wonderful woman.
Okay.
Linda Marshall is a young woman that very, very good heart woman. He's got golly heart. Hey, don't you know you have a orphanage home in Liberia? You have a school that he helping some unfortunate children pay their school fees and things there in Liberia.
Yeah, we are aware of that. We know that she'll be talking to her tomorrow about that as well.
Yeah, she's a very good woman. She's a lovely woman. Thank you very much for introducing her and bringing her on the talk show. I will cut some time to be with you guys tomorrow, but all great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically about our country. When we go there, I would like to know the main topics of our country, more especially the turning issue right now on the ground that caught my mind. That is the hypocrisies that's really fanning around everywhere, every corner in our country among the Liberian people. The former Solicitor General.
Yeah, we'll come to that, Mr. Dolly. I want to introduce the program first. If you mind, just give me some time. I'll go around and I'll bring what he said so you can have a chance to make a comment on it. Is that okay?
All right, no problem. Fair enough.
Thank you very much.
That's the thing that really turning my mind right now.
All right. Thank you. No, say I want you to disarm for now. I'll go to Paul. Paul will take the lead. Then you can get all your arms together. Then you will launched. So if it's just Johnny wants you to show we want you to share the show. Jamal Kamaris Mani coming to you live from Manchester on the border Liberia. We'll be looking at the newspaper headlines from Liberia. Tonight, we'll be looking at issues of what is the topic tonight, Paul? Let me see what we got for our listeners, for your reminder. Tonight, we'll be looking at where ex-chief prosecutor slams him for bad governance. Now, Liberia opposition's absence at the national events sparks concern over Barker's reconciliation agenda. Now, we're looking at the speech Dr. Ahmed Lafayette done. He spoke on a one nation, one people, one destiny, healing the past, building the future. He delivered that message. We're going to dissect that speech, what was in that speech, highlight the main thing. And we'll also be talking about Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. He spoke, I think, in Australia. He said, we need you. Who do you need? Diaspora. Gonglo passionately plead with diaspora citizens. He wants Liberians outside to contribute to national development. Those are the topics we'll be looking at tonight. So first, we'll look into our ex-Solicitor General. This is the story. Guys, we as ex-chief prosecutor slams him for bad governance. Or you read the story. Take us through. Then Mr. Dollar will take why is he coming up at this time to tell us that Georgia was bad. Georgia was a booger dancer. Georgia did not deliver. Georgia was a troublist. Georgia did not listen to people. Why is he saying now? Well, I'll take it first.
You know, Jamal, Liberia is a very interesting country. And I said on many times on this program, the country is not a normal country. This Solicitor General here And this guy is not accusing Weah, and he was the Solicitor General that served this Weah, and now he calling to people they have the Weah Shen that are loyal to him and all of this nonsense. But isn't the guy with Weah Shen as well? Isn't it also since Solicitor General that the U.S. put sanction on for some reason that he was forced to resign his post? This is a senior Solicitor General that decided to prosecute of another political leader because Wa said he was going to teach Lanko Lepe that this guy was found guilty. Now, if he knew all of this that we are this kind of person, why did he not resign at that time? He served until the American post sanction on him before he backed down. Now, the reason why this guy is coming, in my opinion, the reason why he's coming up with this because the United Party government has said they will ask the U.S. government to provide them the evidence that these guys were accused of. So I think he's just doing this to buy time. That he said he cannot criticize Burka government because they had the opportunity to do it, but they did not do it. You see? So this guy, I think he's looking for favor from the United Party. That's why he's coming up with this nonsense. I classify it as absolutely nonsense. That's how I see it. He needs favor, and that favor he's looking for.
Thank you, Paul. You know, guys, if you are joining us, we're talking about this is what is in Serena Cephas. He was
Serena
a prosecutor.
Cephas.
Yes, chief prosecutor and Solicitor General of Liberia. The chief Anthony is a guy who was defending the government at every portion. So he came up. This is a newspaper report. This is from Daily Observer. I'm going to quote some of the statement he made. Daily Observer quoted him. This is what he said. Just give me a few minutes. He said, he said, I never heard of this word. He said the government was reactionized. You heard that? The government was reactionized. So the government of Liberia, under Weah, was all Weah people. They're all reactionized. I've never heard of that word. He just crafted that word. So he said, and that is continue to say, he said, so much that kids that were born into poverty were living in like kings and queens. Cephas noted in a public statement released earlier this week. This is why he said, quote unquote, he said, our government, the government, you're talking about the Weah government, which he was part of, is that our government didn't promote and protect those who stood in the vanguard of struggle during the party's days in opposition. Describing President Weah as a Christmas light only when seen at official ceremonies and accessible to only few officials. The Cephas, which is the Serena Cephas, recounted a list of ills that, in his view, defined the CDC administration. Among them were the failure to empower loyal partisans, and obsession with foreign experts overqualified locals, and a leadership culture riddled with gossip, lies, and internal sabotage. President Weah was like a Christmas light only at official ceremony and was only to those few, he said. So, Paul, I mean, it says something like this guy, Mr. Dolly, I would leave Paul. Mr. Dolly, tell me, could you trust Serena Cephas, what he's saying? Can Liberian people trust him? Can they listen to him? Can they believe it? Despite you don't like Weah, you don't like his government, can we listen to him? Can we believe in him? He says not find way to sell himself to get another job from the what is his name? For the government of Mr. Barkai, because now after almost a year and a half, he's saying that he can't criticize the government, the present government, because they didn't do much, and Weah was at Christmas light. You only see him when this Christmas light is on. He only available to a few. He was the one was the big boy of the decision makers. I mean, the Attorney General of the country, the prosecutor, the Solicitor General of the country. He was the one. Why are they saying that? Can we trust him? Can we believe in him, Mr. Dollar?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to describe this gentleman here. I know this fellow very well. You know, it's just that it's not good to talk about people personally. But when somebody's character is tainted, is damaged, I think it's necessary for people to know little background of that person. Then people will know how to go relate to him and know how to treat him and see how best we can fend around him. This gentleman He never beat a guy who is liable. He's a grievous seeker. He's a terrible lay guy that I know of him. I know his background. I know him from where he was born, where he grew up, where all the activity he had been associating with. I know many of it. But talking about people personally is sometimes not good. If any of you people can remember, there was an old man that used to be in Waterside. We used to call him Bosola. I don't know whether you people heard of him. Paving Weir, that his song. That Paving Weir song.
But okay, Mr. Dollar,
So,
quickly.
but the point, listen, I'm coming, boss. Please give me a chance.
No, I want to add to what you're saying.
I don't want to talk about his personal life.
No, I'm not saying that. I want to add to you. I want you to tell me, was he, because he said like this guy gave he talked about ethnic group like the crew. Is he a Grebo, a crew, ethnicity?
He's a crew guy.
So he was one of those who should be benefiting from the government. Grebo, I think it's Grebo.
Yeah, I mean,
he's Grebo. He's from
the southeastern region.
But if the place where George Weah should have gotten almost the people from, right? So why would we be criticizing George Weah?
Yeah, but the point of the matter is, he every Christmas come he parrot it. That's the kind of person he is. Every Christmas come he parrot it. So he's now a stable person. So he also can dump anybody at any time, any minute, any second. Don't rely on him. He is very good at lying on people. Selena Seaford is now a good human being. So for me to see him today talking rubbish about Joe Weah is very, very shocking, to be very frank. Even though we all know that Joe Weah was not a Booker dancer, we all know that. And Joe Weah was now a serial minus leaders. We all know that. We know where Joe Weah make impact is football. That's all. Beside the football, you know nothing in life. You woman us, we all know that. But they were there, knowing the make capabilities, level of understanding in life, they were there manipulating the system. Even trying to shut away or Google people to leave the country. He's one of those that were going around orchestrating all part of life to persecute or decent men like Alexander Kumi. So let's forget about travel issue. Whether he's a grown man or a crew man or sabo man, whatever, that's not the point. If he was a grown man, he was persecuting a grown man who is a Kumi for no reason, no justification, but because he wanted to serve the way and the prejudice of Joe Weah at the time, and he know whatever was going on, it was wrong. That's the kind of person he see in the show. Today, he working with the man who he pleaded against to impeach him, which is Cabinet Janet. Now he working with him. So all this that's the kind of person he is. You can see him today with Peter Brown, you see him tomorrow with John Brown and whatever. That's the kind of life he got. And that's the kind of way he survived, through lying. So such a people, I don't think it's necessary for people to give credence to whatever statement they made. That's what I can tell you. He's not a reliable person, he's not a trustworthy person. So it should not be, his statement should not be taken into consideration. That's my view. That's my personal view.
Jamal, let me say something quickly. This Serena C4 talked about Southeast that were getting the jobs. But then the Southeastern counties, I think if you check it, about 5. So people that were elected also, their peer group elected them in the house. But then let bring it to the person he cannot criticize. All the major jobs in Liberia come from Lofa County, one county. So how can this guy does not criticize Joseph Nima Barker, but now he able to talk about George Weah when he sat down there and he was encouraged, he was paid heavily to remove Kamina Jana and remove Kamina Jana, they rewarded him to become the Solicitor General.
And that's a cabinet Jana he's working with now.
Yeah, and I'm seeing this guy here because he know the Unity Party they want to go after him, so he now want to be, how to call it, the spokesperson for Unity Party. Something about this guy not right.
All right then. Thank you, guys. We want to bring in Linford. Linford should be driving one of our co-hosts. Linford, welcome to the bottom line. I think, do you want to contribute quickly while you're there? I know you're in a tight position.
Good evening, guys. Do you hear me?
Yeah, go on. Loud and clear.
Okay, very good. There may be some background noise because I'm in the traffic. You're right. You know, sorry that I joined the conversation late and decided that today is now official day, so I've been at work, so I'm just on my way home. But when it concerns Serena Seafood, you know, this is a guy I know from A to Z, right? This guy and I worked for Mr. Taylor's network, communications network. We had TV, we had radio, and we had newspaper. Serena Seafood was the newspaper, the Patriot newspaper. If you sit down by Serena Seafood, what I'm telling you as Linford who knows Serena Seafood over the years.
No,
if you know Serena,
I can attest to that, Linford. You know him.
I
can attest to that. You know him very well. I know.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be personal with him.
Yeah. So if you sit down by this guy and talking, like, you know, you're in conversation, you know that this guy is hyper. This guy is not correct. The guy, 1 minute he'll be laughing, another minute he get mad. For small thing he get mad and he's out of control. Serena, it had to determine who he is. And all the time I knew him, though, you know, he was older than me, and when we were not working in the same department, we worked for the same network, not in the same department, but on several occasions we were together as a group. And I know him well. He will not say I lie. I have no reason to lie on him. So this guy is very hard to determine who he is. 1 minute happy, another minute he crossed the border. So he's always operating on the borderline of sanity and insanity. I'm sorry to say that. But this is a guy also, if you remember, this is a guy who was quoting, COURTING, quoting Joe Boakai, or Joe Boakai was quoting him. One of them was quoting the other one. During the Mr. Cummings case, this is a guy who passed a verdict when the case had just gone to court. They are not even looking into the court, but he was supposed to send Mr. Cummings to where? To some kind of Kagata rural teachers somewhere to go teach elementary students. Okay? And he was saying that the case is finished, it's just a matter of time. And this is a man who could not produce any substantial document to indict or to prosecute Mr. Cummings as government prosecutor that was hired by the Unity Party, by Joe Boakai. So you see, he's coming to even say that he cannot criticize Joe Boakai stems from all of that, from their past marriage, you know, their marriage of convenience. Now that he's been out of job, this is a guy who went on Eric Campbell was stoning him. The guy is just a disgrace. I'm telling you, I can look at Serena in the face and tell you, because you can't tell me anything, I know you well. I don't play anything about him, but I can't talk here. I don't play anything about him. My friend, he's my big brother. I respect him. I know him well. So what I'm saying, I say I know him. I'm not saying somebody told me about him. Okay? So, all right. And like I said, I can say many things about him, but if you look at his utterances about George Weah, it's simply because he knows that George Weah is no more president. George Weah has got no power, and so he's looking for the new power base where he can affiliate with and to get some money. The guy been broke for a few, you know, he's a lawyer, but he's not qualified, so a lot of people not hiring him. This is a guy, you know, ask Henry Costa for the rest of his story with Henry Costa, you know, so he's looking for a way now to get into the lifeline. This is the typical Liberian politician, and Serena Sifa is just being one of them. So, you know, I don't blame him. Nobody, Liberia is so hard that you can't afford to go out of job for almost 2, 3, 4 years. So the guy is still calculating the number of years ahead that, you know, he got to eat, he got to support all his bad habits. And let me make this disclaimer. All the time, Ben knows, I don't know why he gets smoke. No, he does not smoke. I haven't seen him drinking. Maybe he could drink occasionally, but he's hyper. Hena Street. Let me put it that way. I say, hey, he like he can take me to. I'm gonna know him. He knows me too. Serena Sport. My name is Linford going from Case FM. I say you're Hena Street. Because I know you. You'll be talking 1 minute, you jump out, you mad with everybody. So all this thing, he's pressing the government so that he'll be able to get jobs. That's all. He's just being a typical Liberian politician. So no need to give him credence to answer your question. Nobody should give Serena Silver's credence as to what he's saying about George Weah. And he knew all of those things about George Weah. Why was he there prosecuting people under the Asian government? So he was supporting a bad regime. I stop right there.
Yeah, Linford, I know you stay there. We want to, yeah, go on.
Jamal, let me ask something quickly. What Linford said, this guy, he might be broke. He might, because
he is broke, of course.
He could not pay for a parking ticket, and the government want to prosecute him about that parking ticket. It could be some of the reason why he want to say, oh, I can't say nothing about this government now. Although the bad thing this government is doing, we should have then wanted to solve it. So this guy may end up going to prison for that parking ticket, and he don't want to be disgraced.
So the bottom line, gentlemen, is like, despite, let's consider George Weah did not succeed, but Serena Silver now shouldn't be the person that will be speaking bad of George Weah government, because he's also a loser. He's a bad news, and he doesn't have a good record of decency. So that's what you guys are saying.
Absolutely.
All
right,
this guy, like, excuse me, Mr. Kamara,
go on.
Like what Linford said, I know very well that Linford know him very well, because I know the background of this guy. I know him in total. So I know when Linford said, I know the man, I knew Linford know him. I know what kind of person he is. He's very, very dangerous. You see in there, so he can laugh for anything.
All right. We'll give the first round. We're gonna move to the next one. Linford, I know you're in the traffic, but we'll give you the first opportunity to talk about this. There's an issue in the news recently about the government of Mr. George, about the President Joe Boakai. There are a lot of events, national events been taking place. We don't see opposition leaders being invited. Because yesterday or 2 days ago, we had a national prayer service, which he ordered. And we expect the country to reconcile. We expect the country to come together after that heated elections. But what the people are saying, the past activities going on, you don't see opposition leader like George Weah, Bernard Ure, other opposition leaders being invited to national events. And people are concerned, then why the need of calling for prayers for the country when you don't invite other people you think they are political enemies? I'm not saying they're common enemies, but they are political enemies if you look at it. Linford gave you a shot. What do you think? Is the president playing mockery of the people, or is he really meant well?
This president, he's kind of like, we used to accuse George Weah of saying he wants to have the glory, he wants to be the one to say he's shining. This is a president who went to America with 4 other presidents in the presence of Donald Trump. Donald Trump praised him and said, I got other people sitting on the table that cannot speak English. And you are laughing. You are happy that he was a golden child now. They praise him. So he smashed down his friends. That one thing. And so he always wants to be the one to shine. So they can say, okay, George, we have failed. Ellen Johnson did not do too well. And so Joe Biden is doing well. So he doesn't want to improve all of that. In fact, you can see that projects that George Weah started, that former President Weah started, when he completes it, the United Party people they take it to be his glory. So all he wants, the bottom line is that he wants to be the shining star among all the people. So he does not want to include any political leader in that. And you talk about the event that was yesterday, that was not even 2 days ago. That was yesterday, where he declared a prayer and fasting. I've not seen any president make stupid decision like that. I'm sorry for the expression, but that was a stupid decision that had no effect. Who you praying to? Why you praying to? Liberia has been praying from 1847 until now. You don't see any effect. What if this president had called on the people and said, look, Monrovia is dirty. I'm declaring a national day of cleanup campaign, so that all the day in Monrovia we can clean it. Let everybody get outside. I myself will be on the field as president to be checking. We'll feed you, we'll provide water, food, and other small things. So go and clean your environment. Or a national day of, to all the technicians, I think clean up, all the technicians say, all the people pointing at us around the town. Your who guy, from him out there, you go and fix it. You go, that is physical change. That no imaginary biblical change. Where is the God that you pray to? How many times have you seen God open sky and put turning down for somebody? There is no anything called God where you pray to make change. Human beings make change. Chinese are working all night. They were least like us, whereby now they are in space. They are contesting with countries like America, the Russians. How many? Africa is the most religious continent on earth, but still we are behind. Liberia is the most religious country in all of Africa. We are behind. Eh? Okay? So you get wait, I'm coming. You get you take all the people and tell them offices close. There's people not going to work. All they close and tell you go pray. Who they pray to? So let the president show me the prayer that they prayed yesterday. Let him show me one simple result. Get one thing, one small thing that they need to move on. Nothing. If compared to yesterday, as he has said, everybody going to clean up campaign. When people wake up, when they woke up this morning, they will see physical evidence that somebody dead are gone. This is what a good leader does. But they make that no vision. So let me tell you, I'll say this thing. I was eavesdropping a conversation with a very prominent government official who is working in this government now, holding very big position. You are in conversation with some people. I was sitting down, I was acting at that hearing. The man said he's discouraged that this president is just launching what is he's just trying to launch his what are running him, man?
Arrest agenda.
Arrest agenda. Oh, I was shocked. I said, what? But I didn't. I said, tell me. So you see, the reality is that this man has no vision. This government is visionless. The president is unaware of everything that goes on. The children is sleeping in the waiting and say, can't go do this. You're the president who got out to go receive a ship that brought few consignment and few gallons of fuel and gas. Where in the world, my brother? Where in the world that any president, prime minister, or king will get and go receive consignment of petroleum product that king? So what the common minister supposed to do? What the managing director of the FPSC was supposed to do? Then you tell the whole nation you go pray. They free pray now. So you show me the king now. JSK got medicine now. All the same people well. Okay, all the hospitals got medicine. The bad roads are all fixed. The pilot money are all gone, right? No vision.
Okay. To add what Mr. Dollar, let you speak right now. But you know what? Linfo says something that strikes me right. You know, the speaker, the orator says something I want to emphasize that. He made 3-4 points. He said, he told our religious leader, stop spiritualizing poverty, take practical action, become centers of economic development and skill training. Faith without work is dead. Prayers must lead to action. So I'll leave you guys to comment on that. You say stop praying every day. It doesn't make sense. Go to work. This is what the speaker, the 178 orator, Dr. Emmett L. Don said at the conference. Say stop praying too much. Go to work. This is why you say your praying is not giving any result to the country. Just what.
Yeah, but why did you pray? Why did you pray to? The thing you prayed you not here before.
All right.
Guys, Mr. Dollar, go on.
Father, be the last on this. Father, be the last.
You want me to be the last?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I want you to be the last.
All right, fair enough. No problem.
Are we saying that we should not call God in our presence? That's what you're saying. We should leave God alone and work. That's what you guys are saying here.
But Jamal, before you leave your home, you wake up in the morning. You said, "God, thank you for giving me life." You pray to God every day. Everybody pray. Whether you believe. Atheists believe, will say, "Oh, I'm going out there and I believe in the energy that God." So people pray. But we ever heard that a country sat back, say, let's pray, and that prayer bring food on the table? It never happened before. Now, just months ago in April, there's a day set aside for, I think April 12, April 14, one of those days. It's thanks and prayer day for Liberia. The same fasting thing that they just did it in April. Now, this president, you see, when they say it's time to leave the stage, well, the earlier video play, it's time for the man to leave the stage because he brings nothing, no experience he brings to the table. Because if somebody bring experience to the table, could you imagine this Sereno Sifa who is saying Joshua was a Buka dancer, all of the things he said, people now comparing Joshua with the one who is the 50-year experience that he cannot be somebody who don't have even administrative experience. This is the guy that celebrated his wedding anniversary, 50-year wedding anniversary. According to closing argument, they brought an Italian chef for him to eat good European food. Then after that, the next day he announced there will be fast and prayer day for the people. I mean, think on this carefully. So all the government officials were drunk at his place because they couldn't go to work, so let's call for National Prayer Day. But then the people, the common people, some of them went to bed hungry. Now, every day in government, what happens is the government generates revenue. In this so-called arrest a general for developmental purpose that they coming to launch, they say by the year 2029, the country will make $8.9 billion. So if you subtract yesterday, what will they reach that target?
Okay, Paul. Yeah, Paul. I want you to comment on this. Why is it that you think the president is not inviting the former opposition leaders into the national event? That's the question here. We see why is so mean that Bernard Ure, who supported him throughout, and you been there, who they work together against Cummings, Alexander Cummings, and the president George. We all listen. We're all variable and constant. George Weah was very honest. At some point, he called and said, "Mr. President, Mr. Walker, you won the election. I'm not going to push this further." And at least for that, that's another big thing he did. And you got other people that are honest about Liberian, they're passionate, honest about Liberian development. Why is it that you're not inviting them to do a national event? And he's talking about reconciliation, talking about prayer service, talking about it. Is why you think the president is doing this for? That's the question. Why are you not inviting the opposition leaders? And Liberians belong to everyone.
Shine alone. You want to shine alone?
Yeah. Can I come in?
Yes.
Jema, you know, when you have a granddad in a village, he's a storyteller. Everybody's surrounding him to listen to the old day story. All the granddaddy do it. Our granddaddy is a good storyteller. But when it comes to leadership, he does the opposite. That man say he wants reconciliation and all that to bring the country together. But the very people that on the screen here, these are people that we can say politics is nasty, but after the nastiness, you can become friends. And he refused to do it. Remember, I'll tell you something. I don't know if you're aware. After the election, Alexander Cummings texted him to congratulate. That man yet to reply him to say, "Oh, I acknowledge." So he's not a leader. That's what I'm saying. So this guy, it's time for him to leave the state. If a good leader would bring everybody to a point and say, "Look, let's move the country forward." Bernard Ure, you had an idea to run this thing. Who benefit? The people benefit. Cummings, you had this idea. How can we steal your idea? How can you be helpful in this place? Liberia first. The old man told all who must think Liberia, love Liberia. But in that case, is he thinking Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia? He only a storyteller. When he said that's why, but then he's not a leader. A leader will bring everybody together. So that's why he's not involving them. Remember, Henry Costa told us that he schemed Mr. Cummings with $45,000. Remember, he told Bernard Ure he would dance with the devil. Remember, he told Edwin Snow that. Remember, Edwin Snow did something. He said nasty thing about Edwin Snow. So all of these people, he have issue with them. So that's why he does not want to bring them on the table. Look at it. So if he bring all of them on the table, it will be good for the country. But he's saying something and he's doing the extraordinary thing.
Okay, Mr. Dollar, I want you to tell me, like yesterday, the inaugural speech, the 178, that's a snap for political party. That's Liberia. We expect Bernard Ure, Benedict Cummings, Alexander Benedict Cummings, other opposition members to be on the front row. celebrating Liberia 178th anniversary. We didn't see any. I only saw, I think the president of Sierra Leone was there and other officials of the government. So all the other national events, you have not seen any Liberian opposition leader there. Why would this have continued to happen? And we got a man with 40 years experience. We thought he's a godfather of the country, could be able to lead or to deliver this country.
Yeah, let me just explain how I see him to be. Number one, this man is a white-collar dictator. Pretend to be good, and he's not a good person, which I know of. And he keep gross, even a pregnant woman. You see, I will say from A to Z, for Georgia, they men and Georgia will not sit down on one table to discuss anything because of his attitude. He got massive grudge against Georgia that he will never forgive him. Mr. Kumi, he's joined people to persecute Mr. Kumi, and Mr. Kumi, knowing based on his background, experience, and connection, Mr. Kumi could not remain in it. This man and Mr. Kumi knew one another 30 years ago or 20 years ago, but he went away and said publicly that he does not know Mr. Kumi, that he first time seen Mr. Kumi. That's the kind of man you're dealing with. Bernard Ure, he and Bernard Ure jumped together to lie on Mr. Kumi. He know who Bernard Ure is capable of doing. He will never bring Bernard Ure close to him. He got that something in mind. So basically, let's forget about this. The old man, he's not going to reconcile with these people for no reason. If you do it, I'll go back to school. This man not going to do it. So obviously, what we need to concentrate on here is how we can get out of this leadership in 2029 during the general election to put somebody better to take over, to unify the country. Because he's not going to do it. Absolutely, he's not going to do it. So let's just pray to God that we should have somebody reasonable and level-headed persons to take over tomorrow from this man after the next general election. So let's forget about he bringing anybody on the table. He's not going to do it because he got personal issue with every one of them, and it's in his heart. Why he didn't even invite his former boss, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the woman who took him from playing choker on his heart. He went and met him and playing choker. He said, "Look, my friend, leave the choker book. Come here, join me." The person who did that, why he never even invite that person?
Right.
So,
Paul,
I'm not going to comment too much on this man because this man is not somebody who can unify anybody.
Paul, what would Bernard Ure look like right now? Because he connived to oust coming from the CPP, to break down CPP. I want to give the time to Paul. I think you say
no. 1 minute. Let me just tell you something about this thing here. I beg, please allow me. Go on. You see, Mr. Kamara and Paul. That's why in any given situation, when you are in a cooperation with people or working relationship with people, don't join people to ostracize people or to lie on people, to play evil against people. When you do it with anybody, that person will never trust you. So that's why we did Bernard Ure, man. He no follow where Bernard Ure can join with anybody to damage you. So he will never trust Bernard Ure. So that's what I would say. Paul, you can go ahead.
Okay, Paul, the question is I want to talk about is this. Mr. Ure was one of those that was right against, if you understand the fight against Makumis, it was all about getting it out. You were doing a fight. It was Mr. Numa, President Baka fight he was fighting, because to oust Kumi out of the CPP, so you got an opportunity to win. So the whole idea is a political fight. You don't expect anybody. We expect it to happen. So how will he feel right now when he's sidelined Mr. Ure in this situation where he's not being invited to any public functions? He's not being considered as one of the key figures in the country, and national events where you'll be sitting down, even if we don't agree what has to do with the country on the national level, we expect it to be on the table to share opinion. How will you, if you Mr. how will you feel? What do you think if you are in the head of can you let me put you in the head of Mr. Euro right now? What will you be? How will you feel?
Yeah, but when you're joining society, when you're in the same society and your friend play you feel very terrible. And what Ben and I, you got to realize that the old man is a user, but he didn't know. This old man been dancing before Paul Biya then started their own thing too. So he been around. When a group of people, when your old BM pricing and then the new BM come around, your level of experience being a BM, you play on the new ones. Benina Ure were used, and he feel very high that how can a papi use me like this? And Benina Ure were hoping to get something out of the whole thing. Remember, Benina Ure's son, Henry Costa, what people say his son, but the alleged son, was supposed to be the vice president. And what happened when Barker met and said, look, I'm taking Jeremiah Cole, even if it caused me to dance with the devil, I will dance with the devil. So I don't need your support. The thing I wanted to do, you done it for me. I'm done with you. Remember too, Ellie Johnson said that brought him to prominence. After the left office, he expelled Eddie from her own party. So it's just to tell you that the pape, he will bring you over, play you, and dump you. And that's what he did with Cummings. He did it with Edwin Snow. He did it with Ben and Ayure. So the people you see here, all of them, George Weah, interestingly, there was a George Weah that helped the old man about the pacemaker that he had. Because George Weah exposed it to the nation, he have that thing against George Weah. It should have been secret. So he does not let the ground George Weah walk on. So this is the situation. He keep it in him, and that's why these guys will not come around him. But when Joshua won the presidency, I think he had an economic forum where he invited the Benina Ure, the commies, and other people to help. But he ever heard this pape doing it? With all that, they protested against George Weah, but George Weah had an economic forum and brought them in and said, you help me. I need your expertise. While the man with most experience, 50-year governmental experience, he be in government before someone else was born. Why? It's not there. Because the people he served during the PRC time, it was never like that. So this guy, I think he took more cue from Doe than Ellie.
This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
Once again, you join us. This is Bottom Line Liberia. Jamal Kamar is my name, coming to you from the UK, Manchester to be specific. With me tonight, I have with me tonight Linfor Egon Gwe joining us from all the way from Norway. Mr. Yankuba Morris Dollar, also from Preston, that is around Manchester, Paul the Lord Children from London. And we are here tonight to discuss, looking at some headline that made news in Liberia. Gentlemen, we just discussed, we still want to talk something. Linfa, I'll start this with you. Your good friend, your uncle, your cousins, your family brother, Councillor Tiawa Gongolo was, I think, in Australia. He spoke recently about the diaspora. He pleaded the diaspora should come home. They need us. The question is, we are the diasporans, Liberian living outside. The question is, we keep saying this, why they need us for, and how can they prepare the ground for you and myself? What can you suggest? The government asks Liberians to go home. What are the points you will be looking for? But I'll put his, there's a story we put about him. This is what he said. He said, we need your Gongolo passionately plead with diaspora citizen. He made a speech in Australia. I think it was reported by another newspaper. So we want to talk about Liberia outside Liberia. What can we contribute If you were given opportunity to advise the president or the government of the day, what would you tell them for the Liberians living here? What can they do back home? Leif, I'll start with you.
It's a lot of things that Liberians in the diaspora can do or could do if they are given the opportunity. The reason why I believe that is that Liberians in the diaspora are living in different countries, okay, that is not their home, yet they are contributing immensely to the economies of those countries in which they live. So, what if they went home with all the experiences they've had, with all of the expertise they have? If they go home, they will even do more, okay? Uh, so I think Liberians in the diaspora can offer a lot, but what we look for is the opportunity. But then on the flip side of the coin is that uh, the governments that come and the people that are associated with those governments, they always feel paranoid that when people come from the diaspora, they're going to take their jobs, they're going to make them jobless, they're going to, because they are on the ground suffering, and so they too they feel entitled to, even if they're not equally qualified as people coming from the diaspora. So this is where the problem is. So when my traditional nephew, Councillor Gonglo, makes that plea, yes, it sounds good to the ear, and it's appealing to anybody in the diaspora that would love to go home like me to make contribution in my own area of expertise. But then the question is, am I absorbable? Can the system absorb me, given the fact that there are people on the ground that are working to make somebody president, and when that person wins, the people who made him to be president will be first prioritized? Or am I going to be like the Mr. Alexander B. Cummings scenario where people say nobody know this man? In as much as even if he declares his intention to do the best for people, they say no, we don't know you. Go sit down. We're looking for the person who we know. So the society we in that we come from is a very complex society for the fact that the level of understanding, the way people understand things, are quite different, or it's quite different from the rest of the world. How can somebody say I'll vote for somebody because the person being in government for years is the only person we know? We don't know the other people. Whether those two, even if Jesus Christ came down today and went to run campaign library to become president, they'll say, we don't know you, man. You came, you die, you went back, oh, go stay there. We know you. That the person will know. So this is a problem. But I think it's a good plea. And if governments that will come will have good intention to call the diaspora Liberians back, I can promise you it will take few years and there will be some changes, major changes in Liberia in terms of infrastructure, job availability, and even good healthcare system. Imagine how many Liberians working in the healthcare. Even people working in the old people home, that's important. Some people will go and establish old people home back home to take care of our old people. That's development. But then the thing here is the ground is not level. There's no level playing field for us back home when we go.
Paul, the same
Yes,
question comes
Jamal.
to you, Paul. Regard to I want to take it back to before I come to Mr. Dolly. The orator of the day, 100, Mr. Almond John said something about diaspora. He said he said something about 500,000 strong Liberian outside. Almost like, so, I mean, we got Liberian, he said something, few things he mentioned in his speech. He said, dual citizenship granted, but needs expansion. He also said, first presidential global diaspora conference is going to be taking place in September. And he said, once a Liberian, always must be a Liberian. And he also said, bring expertise, investment, and networks back to Liberia. He asked the government to do this. Now, Mr. Gongolo is saying the same, Council Gongolo is saying the same thing. What would you suggest to Liberia, or if you were asked as a consulting advisor, just give a few lines. What can we do at diaspora to contribute to the national development of the country? Because they keep saying we are expertise, go home, but it's just empty statement. If you are being a opportunity, what will you do?
Jamal, the government of the day usually create the enabling environment that would make people comfortable to go home. Why am I saying this? I'm going to compare this with Nigerian, how they call it, musical industry. There are a lot of Liberians around, young people around that are capable of going, but sometimes they don't have the finance, but they have that thing. I think it was 2 weeks ago on this program we talked about the this company that is coming from Ghana that are going to take on
Zoom
the
line.
way, the zone
Zoom line.
line. There's a Liberian girl called Fanta. I can't
Kamara.
remember her last. Kamara. Why don't you give it to her? She's from the diaspora. The government at the day they're supposed to encourage Liberians. You bring your expertise, but you take it away from them and give it to different people. You see, so if you look at Liberia today, most of these local jobs that we get there, what we say, investor, they are Liberian diaspora that are actually investing in Liberia, that are getting it, helping the country in a way. So, but if you give them that environment, that look, Paul Cholope went home, he, but somebody me the call the on mute.
I think it's a telephone call. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Paul Cholope went home to establish a renewable energy company that he want to employ over 200 Liberians. But the Liberian government at the time not willing to give it to Paul because he's a Liberian, but they rather give it to a Lebanese or someone else. So this is the problem. So the encouragement is not there, and the expertise among Liberians is all over the world. But you're not encouraging them. Then also the security issue, the rule of law, it haven't been looked at. So all of these things calling Liberians to come back. Some people want to go, but then they're afraid. There was a young girl who about 2 weeks ago, she left from Canada, went home. She was killed. So how do you put this into perspective that security is not there? People not being encouraged by, so we'll give your contract when you come home, but you bring your expertise. Let's do it. In Burkina Faso, the government created a tomato plant and they make the citizen to have share in it. Encourage their citizen. Today in Burkina Faso, there's a young man that came from Turkey. He built electric cars because the government make the environment friendly for their people to come home to serve, not to be in government. Until that happen in Liberia, look, we are smart people around the world that have ideas in many discipline, but give them the opportunity. Yet they come home, they'll bring people. I started with the music industry. People can go to Nigeria to record music. Why don't you take Liberians from America, Australia, England, all of the young people can build a musical studio over there to encourage our young musicians instead of them going to Nigeria to promote them internationally? This is where the diaspora come in. The diaspora built a nation. The Chinese, you see, China today were built by the diaspora Chinese. Israel today were built by the Israeli diaspora. So if we have it, we will do better for our own country than giving it to foreigners. So this is the problem. So it all boils down to the government making it environment friendly for Liberians to come home.
Mr. Dolly, what do you think? It's not following. Mr. Dolly, are you following us? Right. I think we have a problem with connection. Right. Guys, while we're waiting for Mr. Dolly to join us, I will take you to, there's something we want to bring you. The 178th anniversary, we had a guest speaker. I think one of the respected Liberian, Dr. Emmett Lafayette Dunn, was the speaker. And he has a message. And, key things there that I really want you guys to look at. I'll pick up on his speech. His speech was summarized. I'll play a few lines he spoke on. From there, I'll pick on lines, and I want you to comment on that. But let me play his video.
My 26 is on you. What do I want? I'm glad you asked. Joseph Nima Boyka, a son of humble beginnings. Your leadership, marked by your humility, your character, and commitment, has offered a new tone to our politics. So I encourage you, sir, to lead boldly, to lead transparently, to lead justly, challenge the old order, empower the next generation, fire and don't suspend, enforce the laws, and surround yourself with people of competence and conscience. Who knows that, like Esther in the biblical narrative, that you have come to this royal position for such a time as this. Uncle Joe, tomorrow is not promised to you. A second term is not guaranteed. Act now. Clean up this mess now. Do it for yourself, but do it for the thousands who stood in the rain to vote for you. Do it for Mayama, who is here with us this morning. Do it for little John, who walked 2 miles this morning to fetch water for his family. Do it for Mazo, who died in childbirth this morning for the lack of proper medical care. Do it for those who are yet unborn, so that when the War D shows, history will judge you and say, there lies a man called Joseph Yima Boyka, who served his country well. So that is what I want for 26. Be the leader that you believe God called you to be.
God, let me take this down. Then I want your comment on this. This is quite interesting. Gentlemen, you're all here. Lean for Mr. Dollar, Paul. I mean, this capsulate, this put cap everything, in terms of the mess around him, the suspension without expulsion, incompetent people around him. I mean, straight in his face. Very powerful speech. Just what you analyze it, we'll go to the speech bit by bit, the little key points he made that we'll pick on that. But I want you to tell me the little clip, the expert from his video. I'll start with Linford. Linford, what do you think? What does the message mean to you?
Well, Kamara, I did not make a comment on the previous statement.
Yeah, I was trying to get to you, but your line was not, you were not hearing us. I'll call your attention. We'll give you a chance to speak on that, yeah? Let Linford speak on that. I'll go back to you. They can pull all two into one. Sorry, sir. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. I love that speaker. The good thing about him that he's a preacher. I like his tone. He's very forceful. I wish I have force like that in my voice. To break down the way the words can come. I love his intonation. But the good thing I like about him is that he was fearless. And Liberia has been gifted with good speakers for the past few years. We had that lady who came and blasted the Americans. Then the lady who blasted the Americans, and then the American guy had to walk out of the program. And then this one, it looked like the president was even sleeping, because at one point there's another clip where he was just looking at him, because when he was not paying attention, the more looking at him intently. So, but we hope he got a message. And this guy spoke. He mentioned a few things that he should leave that legacy, so that when the unborn children come, they will tell them, their lives, Joseph Nima Boyka, the man who made your life what it is today. But it goes the other way too, that if he doesn't do anything, when the unborn children come, they will say no. They say, their lives of man called Joseph Nima Boyka, who would have changed your life, but he did not. He refused to do it. So it's both ways that history will judge you. So when you are a leader, it's not only about you making a good legacy. You can also create bad legacy for yourself. Okay, people will go back and say, "Oh, look at him over there. Look at Tottenham." Eh? Some people still believe that Tottenham would have done better because that was the heydays of Liberia, when Liberia was signing all of the PP contracts, and even on one side have value at that time. So we would have started from there. The men signed a 99-year contract and we got nothing out of it. So that legacy goes with him. And so I think he was straight on point, and a few other things he said that the president should do it for the medical benefit of the people, do it for education, do it for the man's who is here with us, do it for that little John who had to walk 7 miles to go for water, just for people to drink. So basically he was encouraging this president. Say, look, Mr. President, you are running to be president. Now you are the president. So you will depend, nobody else will depend on you, only you. Tomorrow is not guaranteed you. So you can say, okay, I will not do this term, I'll do it next term. No, tomorrow is not guaranteed. So do it now and do it for the people. So I hope the president took cues from that. And let's see the next few months or years will come. Now the biggest excuse is, oh, you don't know money. Now just 2, 3, 4 days ago they were celebrating around here about the MCC program money. And we hope they will get that money. And when they get that money, now there will be no excuse that, oh, we didn't have money to do what we were supposed to do. So if the MCC program delivers, we hope they can also do something for the people too.
Linford, I'll come back to you. Let Mr. Dollar answer the questions of what diaspora could do for Liberia. I'll still come back to you in your report on the speaker making point. Now, summarize the entire speech on the issue of some key pillars. You talk about how can we rebuild Liberia. Mr. Dollar, we want to go back to your point of Mr. Councilor Chairman Gogolo was saying that we need Liberians to go home, diaspora to go home and contribute to national development. What do you think, if you're given a chance to advise the president or the government of today, what would you suggest that the diaspora can contribute, how they can contribute to national development?
Yeah, thank you very much. That speech was a very good speech, but the people that are supposed to implement that speech is the people that are in power right now. You see, let me give you one of the typical examples of encouraging the diaspora to come home. The drainage in Zimbabwe, my connection was Zimbabwe. So the people in the diaspora, the Zimbabweans that are in the diaspora, the government have given them certain incentive. When you're coming home, any goods you bring in to stop with in Zimbabwe is 50% free duty. 50% free duty. If you have 3 cars, 2 cars is free. 1 you pay the duty. If you have 4 cars, 2 cars is free. 2 is you pay duty. If you have anything, any goods you bring in Zimbabwe now, the government, as a people from the diaspora, you have half of your goods that you bring in, whether that container or whatever, half is free, to encourage them to come in to do some establishment. But look at our life staff in Liberia. It's not encouraging. Even those that they're already making business, the government are hunting them to bring them in their grade, in their early grade. So I can't understand. So basically, if the government is really serious, Roger cultural play, he got something they call what they call solar seeds company and thing. Then he take good number of solar seed company or activities to the country. They give me some incentives. You will be encouraged to go home. But look at what happening now to the people that can't continue in Liberia. Stock, tariffs, heavy tariff on them. So what the gentleman just said is a good statement, but He's a bulldog, a two-blood bulldog. He can do nothing. And that is the politician's statement, more especially opposition politician. When he comes to diaspora, that's a statement he will make for people to clap for him. To say, I love you people, I want you people to come. When he begin government, will he do it? Because from time to time, we know all our country, all the governments that we've been knowing them, they have not exhibited such an idea, encouraging the diaspora to come. They even also sign her, the consular, the diaspora as an element, alien. So one of the best things that the government can do, Mr. Kamara and Mr. Chilopli, to encourage the diaspora, those that are in the diaspora, you give them the right to vote. You give them the right first to vote. Let them vote. Because these are the people who will vote with free mind, with no prejudice, with no fear. People in the diaspora, they fear nobody. You're not holding anybody once in. They will vote according to how they see things to be. Did they give them the right? Tewa Gonglo, he was a Solicitor General, he was a Minister of Labor, he was this and that. And did you advocate at that time? Did you tell Ellen for them to make the resolution to pass that law to allow the people in the diaspora to vote? No. So then let's start with that and give all the chance to vote, to go to our various embassies and the consulate areas and things there and vote.
Okay.
Then we will see change. That's what I can say to that. We go to, you want me to comment on the Reverend that just make a
No, I will go back to the speech he made. Also, you can I'll talk some points from there. Then I'll go around and make key point that we need to talk about. Thank you very much for that comment. I'll go back to gentlemen. I have something here. We're going to go back to the speech from Dr. Elmont Lafayette Don. He made 5 pillars, gentlemen. He said something. I want you to take on that. He said, we want to reimagine national identity. In that statement, I just summarized the speaker's speech. He said, we need to key proposal, establish commission to create a new national motto. Do you hear that? Establish a commission to create a new national motto. Current motto is the love of liberty brought us here, excludes indigenous population. I want you to comment on that. And he also said we need inclusive identity reflecting all ethnic groups and background in that national motto. On the ground that he wanted to reimagine national identity. And he also said propose a national commission on reconciliation for ongoing healing. Gentlemen, that's one thing. I want to talk about that. Is this something that would, for Ellen to George Weah, that we didn't talk about? I think this has been echoed on and on. There's something is missing because we fought for 14 years. And what the Reverend is bringing out is something we should have tackled years back. Why is it bringing back, reiterating these things again? National reconciliation is not being looked into. We talk about the motto, the love for liberty brought us here. It's not something that involved, that includes the indigenous Liberia. So he's bringing that back. Is there something to debate about, or will you move on to a different level? I would start with Paul, then Mr. Dollar, then to Linford. Paul, you're still mute.
Sorry.
Go on.
I think the orator was spot on. The country have not healed, so you need that. Now, another thing is all of the issue that he raising now, why Eden couldn't do it, why we are couldn't do it, and they fall on the most experienced person that he now put it in his boat to be able to do it. So it just tells you that the country have not healed, and this is why we still struggling for identity in Liberia. So if when we were kids, going to school. We never heard about anything about just bring the country together because something we learn in school that they embedded in us that we pledge allegiance to the country at that time in a way that we were forced to love Liberia at that time. You see, the flag when if you pass in front of courthouse by 5 o'clock after working hour when they bringing the flag down, wherever you are, you have to stand and pledge allegiance to that flag for coming down. We had that thing in us. But then since the Civil War came, it disrupted a lot of things. And the country have not healed from then since then. So I think this is the time that he called in the most experienced person in government. Now look at this thing. Now the law for liberty brought us here. I say the law for liberty took us away. Because if the law for liberty brought us together, it would we wouldn't have that civil war that because remember the thing about the book that was written by this woman, I finish forgetting her name. What are the Andrew Brooks who wrote the book about
No,
Matilda Nepo?
no, Doris Banks
Yes,
Harris.
yes, yes. That Matilda Nepo that we celebrated for years when we were in school that killed the indigenous people when they so it just tell you it's the same thing about that law for liberty that brought us here, but that law for liberty they need to look at it because it took us away. There's no law for liberty there. So it was only for the settlers. But then the settlers, after 130 years by ruling the country, when Dawkins, they should have getting rid of all of that nonsense when they were writing the new constitution. So that something is missing. So the orator is reminding us that something they have to look at, which I think I agree with him. You see, they need to set up something that even the civic today, they need to look at civic education today that if you go to Ghana, you find young babies speaking Twi and they love Ghana, they'll tell you say Ghanaian are the best. So something should happen in Liberia. So it's something just something not adding up. And that's why we are struggling. And I think this guy reminding us it left with the government now to take this advice on board. So that I will stop there for now.
Okay. We got key point, Mr. Dollar, the lead for the last on this one.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will comment on the unifications and the strategies to employ to unify the people, to do away with the travel listings and some stuff, some hatred among us. If I would to be someone to advise the Constitution Committee or the president of Liberia, I would ask for them to put a resolution out and to do some amendment in the Constitution that will make statements against people on the travel sentiment, more especially to cause somebody based on his trial and whatever and thing then we should consider it as a crime and should be punishable. Like what happening in Europe, racist is a crime. Racist comment is a crime in Europe. When you make a racist comment, it can be whoever you bear some consequences, or you write a letter of an apology for that, and you pay some punishment for it. So if we can introduce that in our Liberian society, no matter whatever confusion between you and Mr. Peter, you should not cause him by his trial. His trials have nothing to do with his attitude. That should be crime. If you can introduce that in our constitution, I think that will also bring, regulate some of these nonsense travel sentiments among us. You see, like what Paul just said, there was a lot of things that were going on from Tokman and Tobotan. But Tokman was the one that kept our country down, flat. But Tobo came in, he was trying to to build up the country. You see, many of the estates and things then were built by Tobo. Tobo will bring in unification, and he will bring in higher total involvement. That language was everybody should work for whatever you want to have. So that's a system Tobo brought in. We need to introduce higher total involvement system. People should work for whatever they get. But we got used to baking too much. At the end of the day, he make us to be lazy. I have a conversation with Mr. Kamara and Paul Chuloplace and Mr. Lamford. I had a conversation with some renowned Liberian people. One of the comments that they were making against my political leaders, Alexander Kumi. He said that Alexander Kumi don't let to give money to people. I told them, clean ben, I say, Alexander Kumi idea is to say, teach you how to catch fish, but not to catch fish and give it to you. So now all learn that. That would be a strong person among ourselves. So obviously, to bring unification to get rid of the tribal sentiment is to make something in our constitution, travel's language, insulting someone, or you then stupid parliament, or you then stupid government, or you then stupid madingome, or you stupid groga, then that should be a crime. Moment he say it, he should be punished. That person should be punished for that. When several people go to jail for such a thing, and he's being a radio up and down, I think that will help us to unify us. Liberia should be.
Thank you. Linford.
All Liberians should at least have Liberia at heart.
Thank you,
Even though administration used to love the country and hang the flag. Now we try to abuse statement as a crime in our country.
Thank you, Mr. Dolly. Linford,
should be able to sue me for that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mr. Dollar, we won't give other people, we don't have much time. We want to also give other people the chance to speak on the issue. We should be a very like.
No, I said that for now.
Yeah, 2-3 minutes on the subject. That's better. Can other people the chance, because the speaker got some key point he mentioned about even that trouble thing. I'll put out the link for Linford. You can add all together. This is the point. Linford, this is a point Linford, I want you to take this point with you and add to what Mr. Dollar was saying. The speaker said this is one of among the 5 pillars. He came down to say this is what he said on the issue of what is this? On pillar 4, he said end prejudice and division. This is what he suggested: unity over tribal, regional, and religious division. Stop asking where are you from. Start asking what can we build together. Merit over connections, ethnicity, and political affiliation. We are Liberian first. Diversity as strength, not division. So, Linford, add to what concerning the issue of this motto, the love of liberty brought us here, together with the trouble thing. And just summarize on this. What do you think? Is the speaker making sense? All these things been said before. Why are we going back to this? The past leader, they did not pay attention to those things, or they don't care, but they wasn't worried about. Once you get the power, move on, make the political statement, and move on. But it's just a reminder for us. Is it the right time to speak up? Is it the right time to change the motto, or is it the right time to change our mindsets?
Well, I will start with the ethnicity and other stuff first, then I'll go to the motto. Let me tell you one thing. In a country like Liberia, a country that has several tribes, people got different interests, tribal interests, people got tribal culture, people got all these little tribal connections and things like that. There is no amount of decree from government no amount of law in a constitution can finish anything. I'll give you an example. We have United States of America. How many languages they speak? One. English. How many currency they got? One. Dollar. They get two major parties, Democrats, Republican. They get the same platform. They get the same external policy. Okay, they may be different political parties. When they get same external policy, is to conquer the rest of the world. That's America. Now, then we live in Europe. You get something called EU, which is just the name on paper. They get a big building selling. I know that in Brussels.
Yeah,
Brussels. Because the last time I passed there, I go book it, people really that I was scared. And they realized that too. I book it all went there. I got stuck in the middle. The other one in front of me, our 3 minutes ain't going when they can't catch me. What I'll do. But on a serious note, we that here, you see the EU. Does it hold? Does it go one voice like the United States of America? No, because Norway speak Norwegian, Great Britain speak English, France speak French, German they speak German, Germany they speak German. So you see, they travel to all European countries got their language and some financial interest or economic interest, and this is why the EU is struggling to be like what. So I also hear people talk about United Africa. On a greater level with Africa, we say face the same problem that Europe is facing. Okay, but it can happen. I'm not saying it cannot happen. So let's go to Liberia. I come from 3 travel backgrounds. I alone. Then I speak almost 5. I speak almost 5 Liberian dialects. Me. So can you imagine that I got interest in all of them? So this thing, no matter how you may law. Somebody will tell somebody, oh, look at this stupid parent, man. We the parent will hunger this old stupid because we are humble. So we tend to accept it. It becomes something that we can talk about. So you may law, yeah, it will hold. But I think what the speaker is coming from is that we should not let the ethnicity, the tribal thing be practiced in government cycle. Like when I become president, only my trap people I should look at. So if I teach justice, if my trap man and somebody else go to court, and even if my trap man is wrong, but I should twist the thing around. If I'm in the office and my trap man and somebody else come to look for a job, if I know the other man is more qualified more than my trap man, I should think. I think that's where he's coming from. But there is no way that we can get rid of our tribal connections and our small tribal sentiments. I can look at my woman, so you woman look at food man, or look at the food flat man, or look at the food pastor man. Now that one that's simple thing we can do every day. Okay, then let me go to the motto. I would disagree with the speaker, yeah, on this motto thing. Look, that motto ain't got nothing to do with how it is. And trust me, that motto was there when you and myself, when we were small boy, we started our school. Our parents will buy our little go. We get our 10 cents, we go, we are color school, we're going to school. That motto, that's doing anything to us. That motto, it been there from 1847 until now. Only the politician will look at it to be something big. But the common man down there, he working, he can bring a paycheck home, he get a little horse, maybe he got 2-3 horses, they all when they're in, right? The children go to good school, they eating good food. When they say they go to good hospital, that makes them a big good hospital. Okay, so that motto, you're not doing nothing to it. They say, Lord, Lord, take me for it, get me well, or he brought me here, or he's not doing anything. I'm not saying it's that important, but okay, change the motto today and see whether the hospitals will be built. Change the motto and see whether the roads will be connected. Change the motto and see. No, those are things that we can do in our leisure time. Those are things we can do, we can change whenever the bread and butter issues are taken care of when our go for. But you can be hungry, going see going to motor. What the motor do? The motor will not go to get a job. I agree, it's important. So I think what we should be thinking about right now, is the proposal that the speaker made to the president that you should look at the hospitals, look at the schools, look at technology. This is what driving the world now. Okay, so no motor not doing anything. So if you carry 10,000 companies to Liberia and they employ all the people and the motor remain the same, What difference does it make? The people be enjoying, everybody driving their car. So I'm not doing anything. But people can look at all those things when they're hungry. You see, the man gone out for you go look at read that thing, they say the love of the other bro, say look at that the same people we come who enjoy anyone. But a hungry man can look at all those things. So try to take care of the bread and butter issue first. Then all the weather can come later on.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Paul.
Yeah, Kemal.
Yes, sir.
Paul, when I disagree with me.
No, I won't disagree with you because if I
That
disagree
will
with
make it
you,
interesting now. You have to disagree and agree, is it?
yeah, but yeah, I'll just differ with you a little bit. You see,
Uh-huh.
in Ghana, they have over 100 dialect in Ghana.
Mhm.
Nigeria get plus, but in Ghana, this everybody speak three for a reason.
But in Nigeria,
Ah,
everybody, what did we have national language in Nigeria?
wait, let me
No.
finish. You see where the orator come from? When it, when President Barker said in the campaign, "Love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia," that's what the Ghanaians did. They will tell you Ghanaians first. If you go to Kenya, there's so many dollars they got there, but all of them speak Swahili that they all understand. So in Liberia, we get 16 dialects in Liberia, but we speak the English that have nothing to do with us. That today our children not able to speak Bassa, they ain't able to speak Pere, they ain't able to speak Crown, but give them some national identity that every child that is born must speak something. That will make you to love your country more. Today, if you send Liberians say all of you must go to America, the whole country will run away because they speak American English, they want to go. But if you give them a national identity, they will remain. This is the point the orator is making. Identify something. So I live in the Ukraine. They spoke Russian. But then what happened after 1991? When perestroika went away, when the Ukrainian 2014, when they overthrew their leader, what happened? They decided that 1 year old that is born today must start speaking Ukrainian. So 20 years now, everybody speaks the language. We can do the same. That's national pride. Whether you Congo, you Bassa, you Grobo, find something. Then that love of liberty that brought us, now we can take that love of liberty away. We become one Liberia, that one identity. That means when we go to the election, we'll not be saying, oh, because a man come from local country, I speak Loma, I'm going to vote for local man. But every one of us speak maybe Bassa or we speak Pele. So we'll not have that identity of, oh, that Gio man, that Bassa man, are this. That's where the orator come from. Let's speak one common language.
Have you got people who advocate for this even on a greater African level, that Africa must have one language? Have we ever thought about the danger involved? Number one, take Bassa to be the national language that we want to speak. So the Bassa people will now feel that we are the ones, our language is the most important one, we are the one. And they will not take preference. No, I mean that petty thing, that small thing can develop people even more than what we're thinking about. You see, as big as Nigeria is, Nigeria they got almost 200 some more languages.
I say in Ghana, they get over 100 tribes and languages.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is not, for me, it's not a language. For me, it's not a language. There must be a national symbol. Okay, that was asked me in Nigeria where they got 200 and some more, almost 66 dialects or languages. Do they have one that they speak? No. So the language does not really matter. The language is not a national symbol for us. The national symbol for us should come from our heart. Liberia, we already got national symbol, our speech. The way you myself speak English, that's a national symbol. When I went into at the
No,
when I arrived.
that was
Wait,
not
wait, hold on, hold on.
Do you
Yeah,
know?
my son.
Do you know? Yeah, wait. Let me differ. Do you know today ELBC in Liberia is teaching Liberian Chinese? You think on this? Why
Yeah,
it can
because
teach Liberian and
they,
Pele?
they,
They
they put
teach
money
them
behind
Chinese.
BC. They give you more than so many million
Yes, but
thousand.
they teach Chinese. So the thing is, you may look at it, you picking Nigeria as a huge, but it's a Nigerian driving that drive, like what the Ghanaians so will be one Ghana. Nigerian not thinking that way. Nigerian tell you say, oh, the English talk ought to be corrupt. So that's the way of Nigerian thinking. But this guy tell you, Liberia we small. Let's take something to identify that national symbol instead of the law for liberty brought us. That law for liberty, the American visa open, say all Liberians, we all go America, the whole country will be empty. That's
All
the
right,
point
guys.
here.
All right, guys. Guys, I want to take you through. Thank you very much. Good debate. I think we'll find somebody to come discuss the national identity issue here. I want to be somebody to speak on different, so we'll all share our thought on this. It's a very good debate which need to continue. I wanted to go back to what the speaker said. Take away from the speaker's statement. I want to summarize it. I know we've gone already 2 hours 30 minutes on this show. So, guys, let me take away from the key call to action from the speaker. Let me say what he said. He said, key takeaway and the call to action. He said immediate challenge to address. Corruption, deeply embedded, requires moral courage at all levels. I want you guys to say points that you disagree or agree on. Unemployment, dangerously hard breed, disparate and exploitation, economic inequality, widening gap between rich and poor, drug abuse, silence epidemic, destroying. I'll come in, I'm finished. Then you take your one that you don't agree or disagree.
Wait. Lampo, 1 minute. Yeah, Lampo, let me
Padre, I think you know, put your get off the camera, so you can talk because
Lampo,
they're
please.
finished. Yeah, not talk.
Okay. Educational fragility. Mr.
Let
Dollar,
me come
finish.
in so you will answer both. Please.
Yeah, but you were not following what we're doing. Now you lost what we were saying. Just let me repeat what I was saying. Lamfa has spoken, Lifa has spoken, Paul has spoken. What do you want to speak on? Mr. Dollar? Okay, he's not getting us. Mr. Dollar, what do you want to speak on? He's not getting us. Okay, guys, I'll just go through the key points. Then you'll tell me if you
listen to me.
Mr. Dollar, we are not getting your connection is very bad. You're coming off and on. You're not following us. You need to go out and come back in. You're not even hearing me.
But when you want to talk, you can't call him money. You can't talk.
Mr. Dollar.
Paul, let me. Please.
I hope you're following this. Okay, guys. Guys, quickly, I will don't go quickly over this one so can summarize this and end this show. I will talk about the key takeaway from the call to action by the speaker. He said corruption, unemployment, economic inequality, drug abuse, educational fragility. He said too many children without proper facilities. Then he talk about put Liberia first. Control over self-interest, tribalism, or party politics. Tell truth when even uncomfortable. Reject corruption regardless of who benefits. Demand result, not just rhetoric. Unity builds, destroys. Disunity destroys. So, few things you talk about. Is this same thing? Gentlemen, the question is, I keep asking, is this something new to you? What the speaker is our reminder? Do we need a reminder, or is just our leaders just want to play a deaf ear to those statements? I think it's been said repeatedly every day. Can you say on this, guys?
Wow.
Dolly, if you can get out and come back, it'll be a good thing because we're not hearing you.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that it's just a reminder because these are not new things. That these are things that we know, that we live with, that we suffer from, that we experience. Whether you are in a in a party of the day or the government of the day, you still experience these things. So I think the speaker was trying to remind us that these things are what we live with, and that's what we need to tackle. No, and this is where I come from when I talk about the motto and thing. No, you got rampant corruption that is damaging or killing the very fabric of the society. Then you need that one. Somebody want to go team moto. You got a drug that is wiping away our future generation gradually. Like people might be brain drain. You have zombies walking in the street in the next 30 years to come because all of us here and who know how to write our name and we can read between the lines, we would have been gone. So who's going to take over? I think every country what they look at is the future. So they build for their future. You see, Norway here, we that working now, we are suffering because the government people they say that all the big money, they say they're keeping it for the future. Okay, so they're looking at the future, but for us, we are not looking at the future. So I think those are the talk about the corruption pandemic. I call it a pandemic because it has taken over the entire country, even in households. Then you talk about the drugs and all these things. I think those are the priority areas. No, there are so many things to do, and no government can tackle all of them at the same time. So if you, that's why when this government came to power, they made a long thing called arrest, and I knew that they were going to, entangle problems. They were going to be entangled with problems somewhere because you cannot tackle all of what you put on your plate. It's just like you go to a party and you see the food good, you go follow the plate, go sit down. Time to eat now, you can't finish it. At certain point, now, you start getting sour in your more full. So they saw all these things. Yeah, all these things they talk about in the agenda is good, but can you do them when you don't have money? You got short term 6 years. You're not sure a second term. Even if you get 2, 3 terms, can you do all those things? You don't have money in the country, does not have money, you go to bed. So it's good that we tackle few things. The first thing, if I were advising this government, I would advise them to do is to improve the healthcare system. Because when you improve the healthcare system, you can take a drug addict and carry them somewhere and they can get good treatment and you can flush them out of that drugs and they'll be okay. But in the absence of that, nothing else. And provide job opportunity for the people so that people will be able to sustain themselves. Then nobody will be singing behind anybody munya munya, or nobody will be watching what the politician is eating today. No, like I say, when I came to Norway, it took me a long time to know the BB people, the politicians there, because everybody equal. We all go to the same supermarket, we buy the same loaf of bread. Nobody there going with bodyguard behind driving the other people. No, we all equal. The king can drive on the road, we all drive on the road. You see? So who get time what the prime minister eat today? But if we hungry, everybody hungry, you can't go to the supermarket or you can't do anything. Then you start looking at what the other people eating. Okay? So I think there are key things that he talked about and that the government should prioritize instead of saying they can tackle everything because it's not possible. It is not possible in the situation of Liberia. I'll stop there for now.
Thank you. Mr. Dollar,
Yes.
what
Can you
was
hear
your
me
point?
now?
What was the point you want to put across? We just say a couple of things probably missed.
I wanted to bring something to the attention of the two brothers,
Okay.
including you.
Okay.
If my memory can serve me right, during Doe administration, there was a campaign going on that we all Liberians supposed to speak one dialect, i- including the English. That dialect going to be what the Pele. That campaign was going on. They were putting the resolution up. The walking in and stop this the pressures because in Liberia the Pele is the largest tribe in Liberia. So that was the House of Parliaments were drafting that constitutional amendment in the constitution to make Pele as a national language for all Liberians. Every Liberian should be able to speak Pele. Even children at the school should learn how to speak Pele and grew up with that mentality to speak one language. That will bring unification. That was one of the things that Samuel Doe were introducing in his last administration. You see, and I will tell Lamford this thing here. You see, the travel sentiment he can cause is a disease in a human society. when there's a travel sentiment in the mind of the people, he control development, he control progress, he control everything. Right now, you see the old man that leading our country, because you show travel lists, if you look at half of the government officials are from Lofa, from the Gizi tribe. So this thing there, he cause problem for any nation. Ghana, you see Ghana, they give you job based on your qualification, not because of your tribe. There's two kinds of religion in Ghana, Muslim and Christian. These are the majorities. The other traditional religion is going on, but the tone is the language that every single Ghanaian speak. It brings unification. So in Africa, everybody, you can be any tribe in Africa, you have to speak a language called Jula. The Jula is the Medingo in Africa. Every single tribe in Africa speak that. It brings unification. So if we, the Liberian, can, because, for example, just happened in our country quite recently, to be a tribe, it was a crime punishable by death. So all these things then, because the travel sentiment, when Samuel Doe became a government, he introduced travel lesson too much in the government until he start targeting a certain tribe, and that bring a civil war in our country. So all these things then, we need to look at it lengthily. Small travel sentiment thing there is not good. So we need to find solution to it. I agree with the gentleman's statement that travel sentiment should be abolished. The only way he can be abolished, like we identify the bigger tribe in our country, we all should be compared to speak that language. That's what I can say here.
Okay, so if that tribe people now they know that that tribe is a superior tribe, and what will happen to the other small
They are
tribe?
the majority.
Yeah, that's what makes them superior.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's what makes them
being a
superior.
superior land for. They are the majority. They are the majority.
So
the pellet, they are the
I
majority.
think there's superior business link for. I don't think when a referendum is happy in a country that the country decide to speak a particular tribe, it got nothing to do with superiority in it.
It got
Because
nothing to do with superiority.
what happening is the global will not go away, the crown will not go away, but your find common bond in one common language. The Ghanaian, I just gave example, classic West Africa, Red and Padore, are the Africans that they speak something.
The speak Jula.
Do you know the largest global tribe is in Africa? The tribe is there. But
one at a time, guys. One at a time, Zadola.
Yeah. No, I promise.
So what the orator said, I think it's a reminder, Jamal, that we need to look at something. And this is the way, and they will cut all of this nonsense down that, oh, you read it? I'm from Lofa County, that my uncle, that my auntie, I came back. But when everybody's speaking one language, that uncle auntie thing, it will just go away.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I think we need to kind of summarize. I will speak on two sides. From my experience, what Linfo was saying also makes sense. We need to change our mindset. All the motu, changing motu, and also speaking one language, it won't change a lot of stuff. I was setting an example, gentlemen. Somalia is only one country in the world that speaks the same language, the same religion. 99% Muslim, 99% Somali don't speak no Lord language, but they still fighting for the past 40 years. 40 years they still fighting among themselves. They don't speak any other language. Speak one language called Somali. And they got one religion.
But you know the reason?
I come in, Mr. Dollar.
I will tell you the reason.
I come in.
Yeah, when you finish, I will tell you the reason.
I'm coming. The reason is like they got clown. You know, they clown here. Where someone will say, certain group will say they are superior because that's the issue I know of. But the problem here is, I think what Linfo say it makes a lot of sense. Changing our mindset is very important. Because even if we speak the same language, it doesn't change. Somalia should have set a better example because when Mohamed Shiabari came in, they were speaking Italian as official language. You stop that. They started introducing Somali as a written language, spoken written language. And today, Somali is still fighting. They're the only country in Africa still fighting for over 40 years, 4 decades. And they got one religion. They're all Muslim. No Christian. You don't find church in Somalia. All Muslims. So what are they fighting for? Is that unity? Language should be the unity. Religion should be unity. Why are they other fighting? Mr. Dollar, tell why there's the fighting. Mr. Dollar?
Yeah, you want me to tell you the reason?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, tell us.
You did mention one of the reasons why they still fighting up the person. But what the genesis of that war, I will tell you now. When the first president, Shia Barry, became president, they were the superior tribe. The guy they call I mean this general here, I just forgot his name. Oh my God.
Okay then. So you missing information. We'll let you have it.
Not John Garang,
no, John Garang, not from there.
Not John Garang, not from there. The other Somalian general. When they were in the army, the least ethnics were in the army. The superior tribe was in the administration.
Mr. Dollar.
So when we
Well, I thought all of them speak Somali.
Mr. Dollar, you're missing up. Let me give you Mr. Dollar.
Yeah.
It's not about tribe, it's about clans.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you. Probably you're missing it up, Mr. Boss. Let me explain to you. It's about clans in Somalia. Somalia belongs, like, if I'm from certain, like, for instance, I live on, say that from Zota region, for instance, Lufak, Bon County, Zuita area. There are certain clans in there. They got dialects, they got ethnicity. That dialect they all speak Somali, but there are certain groups, but they will say the dollars are certain ethnic group, there are certain clans. They believe that they're the bigger people because of last name and other stuff. That's how those stuff are developing. Clans are developing. It's not about the tribe that wants Somali. So the issue of they all speak one language, the question is not about what a clan. What we are saying here, Lifa is also supporting. If they're all Somali, they speak one language, and they speak got one religion, why are they still fighting? Forget about the clan. That should unite them. That's the question we're asking.
But then the other way around, Ghana, they get 100 language. They speak something and they speak English as their language. English does not go away, but they speak that common language.
But not everybody speaks Twi, though. Paul, if you go to
listen now.
Go on, Paul. Go on.
Twi is embedded in the Ghanaian thing, word of life. If you travel to Ghana, I don't know when was your last time in Ghana, but everybody pick up Twi. That's it. Now, I gave Kenya as an example. Everyone speak English in Kenya, but they speak Swahili. Do you know that the same way with Tanzania? So if you give an example on Somalia alone, then let's look at Tanzania, let's look at Kenya, let's look at Ghana and other countries. Don't just talk about Africa. So you cannot take one and say, okay, because it happened in Somalia, so it cannot be. In Liberia, we speak Pidgin English, we speak English. English will be the official language. But today, if you call people in Liberia, children that are born, they can't speak Grover, they can't speak Pele, they can't speak nothing. Who are the older folks? And we're not talking about it will bring this, how to call it?
National identity. National identity.
Exactly. That's the point.
Right,
we're learning Chinese instead of learning Grover. That's the point I'm making here.
Thank you. I think we all had a point here. So, gentlemen, once again, we've gone almost like 3 hours on the show. One of the impromptu show we always have. Tomorrow we'll be having this lady. Tomorrow will be coming. I'm gonna show you with you. Tomorrow is our main night. We'll be having Madam Linda Marshall, CEO of Caribbean Connection Consultancy. She's based in Manchester. We'll be joining her live. She'll be joining us live from St. George in the Caribbean, in Grenada, West Indies tomorrow at our time, 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock European time, 7 o'clock Liberian time, and 3 p.m. That's Grenada, West Indies time. Madam Linda Marshall, she's the founder and chairperson of the Caribbean Connection Consultancy. She'll be telling us new trade connection between Africa and the Caribbean, and also talk about investment opportunity for Liberian businesses in the Caribbean. And she's just been part of the meeting, the conference forum. They call it the Africa-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum 2025. She was part of it, just concluded this weekend. So last weekend, she will be part of it to tell us why should Africans show interest in the Caribbean, and many other announcements should be telling us tomorrow. So don't go away. Be part of tomorrow's show. We'll be here same time tomorrow on this platform. Linford will be. I hope Linford will be. My good friend Francis Monomensa also will be with us tomorrow, I believe, and we'll have Mr. Dolly will also join us tomorrow if possible. Paul the Lord will be assuming. I guess will be. I might will be here myself. So I'll go around and take parting statement of my colleagues, and then we can take a leave of you tonight and wish you a pleasant evening. But gentlemen, I'll start with Linford. Linford, summarize today's event, please.
Well, I think we had a pretty good show, even though I joined you guys in the middle of the show, but it was good. And from where I joined, we're talking about the national fast and prayer day declared by the president. And I personally have been really pounding on it on my private show that was unnecessary, because there is nowhere in the world that I know of, even Israel, that claims to be the chosen one of God. They don't pray for things to happen. The Israelis are all over the world working hard and building their country. Even when Iran struck them, they didn't go and pray God and say, okay, God, the Iron Dome is damaged, and God start building it, or Michael injured Michael, then come and start building the Iron Dome. No, Israelis are repairing it now. They see chosen people. If God look at certain group of people and say, they are my chosen people that I want I love more than the rest of all the people. That the people, when they fight in war, when Iran threw one bomb, then they go to America to come fight for them. They didn't go to the injured them to come fight for them. They didn't go pray God to come fight for them. Yeah? Then you in Liberia, God even know God say that chosen people. So in other words, you're not anybody that you will go start praying for things to happen. You get up and go work. No country in the world, America, which is the greatest nation today, they are working. Like people do sleep in America. Tomorrow after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, everybody's sleeping. America, we running 24 hours around the clock. They're working, and this is how the country built. They're not praying 24 hours around the clock. In China, they don't have Christians there, but or they may have few of them, okay? But they're not praying 24 hours. They are in technology. All the children are learning. Eh? When the child enter kindergarten in China, they start to learn something. In Europe, all the children, they learning something from kindergarten all the way to high school, to college. So that only Liberia, where people can go and mass in the street and pray, expecting that miracle will happen. You're during the wartime, you're praying. When bomb dry, all of you die. Then the other people that live, or go pray again. That one teach your sense. There's nowhere where you will go pray, then something happen. And the next thing we talk about again is the orator's speech, which is very long, and then with several points, because every word he said was important. Where he admonished the government, the president, the government, because he made specific reference to his name, that you got to leave a legacy. Do it now for the present generation, and let it be a legacy for the future generation, because what you will do now will lay the foundation for the future generation. And that's what I think good governance is about, to do it for now, so that you will build a foundation. When you move, the next person that will come will be, when I was in school in England, I had this friend from Hong Kong. And I don't know whether any of you have ever wondered why all the buildings in Hong Kong are skyscraper. I'll tell you the secret behind it. Hong Kong is a small island. They didn't get land, and they put plenty, but they didn't get land. So nobody can buy. One person buy the land in Hong Kong, right? When you live for, you buy the land, so that land for you. But in other words, it belongs to everybody. So you build a house, and that's why all the houses are skyscraper. You build a house that one star, everybody get. You build a house, the design you choose. It have 2-story, one build, you build it, you leave it right there. Then Paul will come and buy the upper story and build a sin star. Then Paul will come and buy it. So well, in Hong Kong, I spent 11 days there when they had the volcano ash. So I asked my friend Brian, I said, but why all the building total down to the airport, every building to the airport, I thought I was the city. He said, no, because we don't have land. So no, when you buy one, the person who buy it, everybody will come and build on top of it. You see it? So that's how government should be. You really, before you build the foundation, the next man can improve it, the next person can, then the country is building. Okay, so that's why the orator trying to actually tell the president that you build a foundation here as a legacy, so that tomorrow, when the next generation can look at it and they will remember you. And the next one we were talking about was this changing of all the national identity, and then the changing of motto. All this, yeah, national identity is good, but we got to change our mind. The mind is what will tell us that we are Liberians. Our mind. No, we all can speak the same language in Liberia, one language in Liberia. We cancel all the other language. It will not say, if our mind not change, it will not change nothing. Okay, so we got to change our mind, because from the mind is where all the good and bad things can come from. It's not from language. It's not from so everybody wear one uniform. That student, you know, wear uniform. You go at least everybody in school wearing the same uniform, but you go. Then some people dull, some people failing, then people fighting even with the uniform. It doesn't matter. Uniformity does not matter. What matters is the mindset. Let's change our mindset. So that
All right,
was it. It
guys.
was a good show, guy, and we hope to be here tomorrow.
All right, guys. Linford Paul, thanks for that summary. I know you were not there, but it's a very good point there. You pick on the key point we spoke about, and we appreciate that. Paul, what is your takeaway on what we have to tell the people and Mr. Dollar? Also, Paul, remind them tomorrow that we'll be here tomorrow as well to discuss Caribbean African trade and also relations to Liberia. What do you have to tell our audience, our followers tonight, Paul?
Well, thanks, Jamal. The program
You're
was a
muted.
very good program. One of no, I'm not muted. Yeah, the program was a very good program. We talked about the situation in Gaza, about France and Britain and Saudi Arabia now are calling for one two-state solution that will be done in September. The UK have announced they will back France on this, so it's a good thing. Finally, I hope they stand by their decision that the people should have their own state for the killing to stop. And we did mention also about Liberia and the orator, particularly what he said, I think it caught my attention. And Serena Seafor, who came up to go after George Weah because he now want to seek some sort of job in the Boyka-led government. But upon all, I think it's a reminder from the orator that this government does not have agenda. That's why he was reminding them there's a bread and butter issue that you have forgotten about. And he did mention about the hospital, the schools, because Unity Party didn't have any agenda, so it's just a reminder. Because if you have an agenda from day one, the thing you came to do, you lay out from your agenda. They don't have it. So he's just reminding them that you need to look at this. So probably that message the orator gave is for the next leadership, because the arrest general that these guys are operating on, it have nothing to do with hospitals, schools, and then it's all about something else that we don't know. Tomorrow is fire. The next day is fast and prayer day. The next day we'll get $1.1 million bulletproof car for the president. So there's no agenda. So it's just a reminder. With the motto that he talked about is also a reminder for the future generation that to have that love Liberia, think Liberia is something that can be done in 20 years, in 15 years. It's not going to start with God and us. It means the children that are yet unborn. In the next 10 years, if you start putting something into their head to love their country, that can happen. So I think it's just a reminder. So overall, I want to say it was a good show. And I want to say to our audience, thanks for being with us. So Jamal, we're back here tomorrow.
Mr. Dollar?
Yeah.
Your last comment, please. Then we'll take home.
Yeah. Basically, I don't have much to say. I think Matukuli has said all. The only thing I will tell anybody, the best way to build a nation is to be a fast thinker and to be sincere of whatever you're doing. If we behave the way our president is behaving, he's very good at telling story, but to implement what he's saying, he doesn't know how to do it because he have no potential of doing it. So we all should pray that we should have someone who will come in to at least do whatever in the best interest of our nation, like what the author said concerning about the good vision for our countries, the hospital, the road network, and rule of law, all these things. Then there's no way any country can be developed if people does not respect the rule of law. Because if people don't respect rule of law, it's a recipe to disaster. It can bring violence. Because when you step on somebody for so hard, and the person got angry and start stepping on your foot, then the confusion broke up. At the end of the day, the entire country can upside down. It happened in our country, not even 40 years ago. It happened when the people start stepping on certain track, and the track feel that I think they need to retaliate. And what happened to our country right now? The country came down to square zero and devastate the entire nation because of gross disadvantage, witch hunting, and things there. So I hope the next government or this government that in power should think wisely and start witch hunting people and start going against people that are making progress in our country and providing employment for our people. That's all I can say. Serena so far, I think Linva knows Serena so far. I don't need to talk about him too much because he's now a trustworthy person. He's now a reliable person. Thank you very much for coming, and I will be available tomorrow after my time with SKTV.
All right then. Once again, guys, thank you very much for leaving. We're on schedule, not planning to come. You pop in to support us. And Paul, Mr. Darling, also thanks for joining us. Today was not a day for us. We just pop in to keep up the light burning, and we will do it tomorrow again. That's official time. Levo may be in the driver's seat tomorrow to take us through. Levo is 12 midnight for you. I know you want to wish you a good night. And guys, we want to wish everybody that join wherever you join us from. We say thank you very much for being part of the bottom line. And we always want you to share this show and also subscribe. So anytime we start, we pop out, you can get sent an alert so you can be part of what we discuss here. Whatever we discuss is about Liberia. It's our own decision. Also, we are passionate about Liberia. We give our own perspective. I like Linford. He always say, I want to make a disclaimer. He says something, and that's his point. So it can't be a personal opinion. So whatever we say, it's not official. It's our own personal opinion. And the newspaper clips, we always review. We also look at it from our own perspective, personal perspective. It's nothing official here. We are also not a voice of any organization and not any political party. We are just a diaspora media group called the Bottom Line Liberia, based in Europe. And we want you to be part of the show, share the show, join the show. And we want to leave you with Liberian song. You know what we always do? We want to take you a good night and leave you a music from Liberia and to tell you Liberia is doing something good this time. Always this time.
You let me know, I like it or you can swallow me, oh. Then I can't hold my dreams, they can silence me, oh. My blood to better tell her after we. Try me to run for your eye, tell her after we. I can't do that, I see all my thing, but I stay steady from me and I point out. I put it, then I want me, oh. Then I try to bring me down, but then I want me, oh. I put it, then I want me, oh. They don't get me on, Brian, I want me, oh. I put it, then I want me, oh. Then I try to bring me down, but then I want me, oh. I put it, then I want me, oh. They don't get me on, Brian, I want me, oh. I tell them, say, Juju, that woman, clip all I made. When my blessings are coming, they can't understand. They want school, the more they go with their pretense. I get enjoy, give her in my teeth. I try, but it fade and I ever me, oh. That your cheche pule, you know, leave my me, oh. Be my friend and my student, they'll move. Anything you do, we get more. Put it out, then I hear what me. Then I try to bring me down, but then I hear what me. Put it out, then I hear what me. You don't get me on that right, I hear what me. Put it out, then I hear what me. Then I try to bring me.
This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online